Good morning and welcome to the King's Report this Friday, May 12th, 2017, 8th year of Chungi, 4th month, 17th day by the heavenly calendar. I'm your host, Seong Sean Moon, second king of Chungi here with Toyin, who has forced herself to come here. She said she doesn't want to sit on the floor. She wants to come on Daddy. Let's go first to Tim, the agent elder for our AccuWeather forecast. Tim.
Good morning. We're continuing in our string of cooler than normal temperatures today, 37 degrees outside, but clear. And we'll be seeing a little bit of sunshine today in the Tonigung area, going up to 65
I got
degrees.
sunshine
Still a little bit cooler than normal.
on a cloudy day.
Tomorrow, actually beginning tonight, it's going to start raining, and we'll be seeing some rain, sometimes heavy, through tomorrow, all the way into tomorrow evening. And that it's going to be quite cool tomorrow with a high of 51. The good news, I guess, is that I was thinking it was predicted earlier that it was going to be windy tomorrow, but it's not going to have much wind. But you still may want to curl up beside a fire with a good book tomorrow. I don't think, not a good day for picnic tomorrow.
I got sunshine. What's that song? What is that song?
On a cloudy day.
On a cloudy day. But today's not a cloudy day. It's a beautiful day. Or at least going to be. Thank you, Tim, for that update and report. Let's go first to our Rima today. We are in John 18 here. And this is subsection Betrayal and Arrest in Gethsemane. Very interesting section. Here we go. When Jesus had spoken these words, he went out with his disciples over the brook Kidron, where there was a garden which he and his disciples entered. And Judas, who betrayed him, also knew the place, for Jesus often met there with his disciples. Then Judas, having received a detachment of troops and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. Jesus, therefore, knowing all things that would come upon him, went forward and said to them, "Whom are you seeking?" They answered him, "Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus said to him, "I am he." And Judas, who betrayed him, also stood with them. Now when he said to them, "I am he," they drew back and fell to the ground. Then he asked them again, "Who are you seeking?" They said, "Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus answered, "I have told you that I am he. Therefore, if you seek me, let these go their way, that the saying might be fulfilled which he spoke. Of those whom you gave me, I have lost none." Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. So Jesus said to Peter, "Put your sword into the sheath. Shall I not drink the cup which my Father has given me?" Amen. Naju. Very, very interesting section here. Let me draw your attention to a couple things which may have passed you by as we read the scripture. Look at this. Jesus spoke in these words. He went out with his disciples over the brook Kidron. Verse 2, for Jesus often met there with his disciples. Jesus often met with his disciples in the Japanese garden. You see that? Jesus met with his disciples in the garden.
In the garden.
In the garden. Jesus loved the garden.
Yes.
I love garden. I did Japanese gardening for very many years, actually. In a lot of the monastic traditions in Japan, Japanese gardening or meditative gardening is part of the practice.
Yes.
It's part of the practice of maintaining temples, but also they have this whole, stone garden. Mm-hmm. What do they call that in Japan? Ishiniwa?
I'm not sure what it's called, but
It's a stone garden that actually mimics the appearance of an ocean. Guys, type in Japanese Zen garden.
Yes, it kind of mimics it's a model of the universe, I guess.
Yes.
Like ocean and islands and rivers.
Yeah. So they have some beautiful, white stoned, gravelled gardens, which I love. I love them.
combed with a rake and a
They
certain
come
way.
with a rig.
Yes.
There you go. And it mimics both the ocean and the cloud sea. It mimics actually little mountain peaks
Yes.
poking through the cloud sea.
Yes.
Hey, there you go. That's a cute little Zen garden right there, man. That's a cute one. That's a really cute one. I always used to build these wherever I went. You know, I always used to build them wherever I went. You know, actually, these are not necessarily Buddhist. They don't have to be Buddhist. You know what I'm saying? Because actually, all those geometric patterns and the garden and universe itself and its architecture requires an actual creator. Now, one of the elements of the Japanese garden is to try to keep it as natural as possible while mimicking the elements. That's actually a famous temple right there. While mimicking the concentric patterns, geometric patterns found in nature, particularly in water rippling and or cloud formation around mountaintops. So if we imagine there, that could be a you could be on a high like mountain, looking down on the cloud sea, and those are mountain peaks that are peeking through the clouds. You see that? Or it could be an ocean with rocks peeking through, or islands peeking through. Of course, this is many times likened to the mind, and how one thought that penetrates into the mind then creates ripples into the mind, and that's why it's connected to meditation. But I've always liked these Zen gardens. I've always loved the peacefulness that they create. However, again, just like any other, even like the samurai arts, okay, that are also connected to these Zen gardens, there are spirit worlds around each one of these gardens, and there's a whole spirit world connected to these things, which can unknowingly lure you into the lull of tranquility and escapism. It's like seeing those. It's like oh, it's so calming. It's so tranquil. I don't want to see any more political Satanism. I don't want to hear about the pedophiles. I don't want to hear about Bill Clinton and Obama and Hillary Clinton and Jeff Epstein and the Rothschilds. Oh, I just want to fade into tranquility. I just want to fade into their tranquility. Gaze at the meditative rocks. Forget I live in this world. Forget I have any responsibility to defend my neighbor. No. I want to escape. Escape and fly away. Fly away. Fly away. Far away from the insanity of the world. You see that? You see what happens? You see that?
Yes.
See, that is the spirit world that's surrounded around these things.
The Japanese name is Sekite.
Sekite?
Sekite. Seki means rock. Te
Oh.
means garden. Yes.
Oh, so it basically means ishiniwa.
Yes, what in the Chinese
In
pronunciation.
the Chinese pronounce sekite. But you can see how you can get lulled into the spirit world trance. It's like, yes, relax. Come to me. Yes. What is that movie? Oh, do you see that movie, incredible movie, Kubo? It was the claymation movie that they made. It was, guys, pick up a clip of Kubo. Wow. He's like, one time he's in this, is he in a graveyard? I can't remember. He was in the woods or something. And then the ancestral spirits come and they go, Kubo. Kubo. and they're hiding and they're swishing through the forest. These spirits, right? They're basically devils that are doing that, Tim. But basically, if you get stuck into these Japanese gardens, I mean, you can get lulled into a trance. And they make you placid and tranquil. They tranquilize you. Tranquilize you. Make you tranquil. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong about being tranquil. I mean, even the Bible says, have peace. Be still and know that I am God. There you go. Whoa, cool, man. Look at that. That's Kubo. Kubo right there. That's also a Japanese ninja movie. He has to fight ninjas and all these crazy stuff. People like ninjas. It's not only me, okay? People like ninjas. But look at that. He's got to fight these demons. You guys got a clip of that, like a YouTube clip that goes, Kubo. They're demons, right? Demons that are trying to kill him. Luring him. Ah, yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Play that clip. Go ahead. Turn the volume up. Where's that volume, y'all? Oh, we ain't got no
What
volume,
happened
man.
to your eye?
Who are you?
Oh, we didn't have no volume.
How do you know my name?
We got volume?
You're
Okay.
your
So our
family.
audience can hear it. I can't hear it.
Your mother's
But did you hear it? Did you hear the
looking for
Kubo?
you so long.
There we go.
So lovely to meet you.
There's the spirit world.
Face to face.
There's the spirit world. Connected to the pagan arts.
No reason to be afraid.
There they are. No reason to
Just
be
need
afraid.
to arrive.
Don't be
Your grandfather
afraid, children.
admires it so.
Come to the tranquil land. Come to our peaceful land. Don't look at political Satanism, it's stressful. Don't look at how the archangel colludes and makes power. Doesn't it hurt your brain? Stay far, far away. Stay far, far away. Be like those people in a trance watching entertainment and TV. Watch the TV. Go out and meditate near the garden. You don't need to meet anybody. You don't need to look at anything. Don't look at drudgereport.com. Don't watch InfoWars or Breitbart. They just are paranoid conspiracy theorists. Don't try to follow real news. You don't need that. Just let loving Obama and loving Hillary take over. No, Donald Trump is bad. Donald Trump needs to be put in prison.
You must find the armor.
Yes.
Your only chance.
Jeff Epstein and Maxine Waters loves your children. Believe what they say, Kubo. Believe what they say. They love you and want to care for your children and ship them off to Pedophile Island, but don't worry about that. No, stay in your Japanese garden. Meditate with your samurai sword. Be at peace. Think only about yourself and your own mental sanity and clarity and tranquility. Don't care about the world that is around you that we will control. Yes, pretty, pretty baby. Go to sleep. Go to sleep by the garden and the waterfall of the Japanese garden. Give yourself over to the system. Leave your thoughts behind. Leave your cares behind. Lay down near the waters. Yes, drink from the water. Trust in Obama and Hillary Clinton and Francis Macron and the UN and Henry Kissinger. Yes, they love you. Give yourself over. They will take care of you with artificial intelligence, smart homes, and Korean dramas. Yes, they love you. Give yourself over to the loving Democrats and rhino Republicans. Do not stand against them. Stay watching Stephen Colbert, listening to Rosie O'Donnell and Oprah Winfrey. Watch John Travolta. They all want you to be happy. Tom Hanks and Michael Moore. Yes, little child, eat your GMOs and take your aluminum-filled cancer virus vaccines. Drink your fluoride water. Break up your family and destroy your husband, destroy your wife. Yes, see your children, see your parents as your enemy. Trust in your loving government teachers. Yes. Yes, little children, come to Bill Clinton. Come to Prince Philip of Edinburgh. They love you. They want to protect you and keep you safe, little children. You see that, folks? There is truly a spirit world around these things. There's nothing inherently wrong with these kind of artistic works like the Japanese garden, but you must remain in the position of dominance when you come in contact with them. You must realize, yes, I can seek tranquility and peace, but the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. Peace and tranquility without God and self-escapism is exactly what the devil wants you to go to. Now, peace and stillness and giving glory to God, that's a totally different story. If you relax by the brook of Kidron and a beautiful stream and a Japanese garden and say, glory to God. God, thank you for giving me resuscitation in this moment of peace. See, they want you to sever your relationship with God. But the true samurai and person in Christ never leaves his master, always protects the relationship with his master. So thus, even in moments of tranquility and peace, we say, give glory to God, for he is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He takes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside cool waters. He restores my soul. He leads me on paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yes, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of my Lord and Master forever. Ah, you see that? Now, we didn't sever the relationship. You see what I'm saying? We didn't let the devil lull us into a tranquil trance and sever the relationship. We use the peacefulness, we use the trance, we use the tranquility, but not to sever the relationship, to strengthen the relationship. What the devil wanted me to fall into, I turned it around and whooped him in the face. You see that, Tim? That's a little Aikido, a little magic jujitsu right there, baby. I am 2 steps ahead of the devil. Anybody who trains, they know that when you fight higher level guys, they're already 2 steps ahead of you. They already know exactly what you're going to do because there's only a limited amount of moves that you can do per position. Unlike the stupid globalists want you to believe, no. There are limited amount of things you can do per position. And the master knows exactly what you're going to do. He can feel it before you even try it. But Jesus himself was at the brook of Kidron. Look at that. Jesus himself took his disciples to those beautiful spots in nature. See, there's nothing wrong with the beautiful spots in nature. There's nothing wrong with beautiful gardens and Zen gardens. See? But don't be dominated by the spirit world. The second king of Chenigu may have a Zen garden and may have samurai swords and may have those things that seem like I'm still a Zen monk, but I am in control. I am in the dominant position. I am the master over those spirit worlds. They cannot say to me, second king. Second king. Man, I need a big like Asian hat so I can go like second king. Second king. Yeah. I need a little Asian hat. Man, we have too much fun keeping it real on the King's Report. Bam! The devil don't want you to hear this. But that's what happened. You must remain as a powerful samurai in the Peacefully Militia training of Cheonil-gu. You remain in control. Those devils and archangels and spirits shouldn't have no power over you. And do not let the devil lull you into the trance. You use his trance to give him a nice slap in the face. We'll be right back after this short break.
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this Friday, May 12, 2017. I am your host, Hyunjin Sean Moon, the second king of Cheongguk, broadcasting live from the Cheongguk Palace, here with the royal doggy who refuses to be let go. You know what happened? You know what happened to her? All her babies have disappeared because all her babies have gone to wonderful homes. So she's depressed. This girl chasing me around like the freaking Black Plague. She's like, she feels like withdrawal, I think.
Empty nest syndrome.
She needs emptiness, and her emptiness can only be filled
Empty nest.
by her daddy.
Empty nest. All the kids are going to college.
Her emptiness can only be filled by Scooby Snacks and her daddy. Oh my goodness, but she definitely misses her babies. Let's go now to Mrs. Kong for our Holy Spirit moment. Tim, take it away.
제가 먼저 성경을 읽겠습니다. 먼저 제가 성경을 제가 먼저 공독하겠습니다. 잠깐만요. We're in Matthew 7, verses 7 through 11. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you.
Bam!
For every one that seeketh receiveth.
Dang!
And he that
Dang.
seeketh findeth. And to him that knocketh it shall be opened. Or what a man is there of you, whom if his son asked bread, will he give him a stone? Or if he asks a
We were
fish,
talking about stones this morning. We were
Yes.
talking about the Japanese garden.
yes,
I'm gonna build one here. I'm gonna build a Japanese garden here, and then I'm gonna put some awesome, cool scriptures in it. In the hidden places, you have to really gaze into it to find the hidden scriptures. It's like Easter egg hunting, but not in the pagan way. Go ahead, Tim.
or if he asks a fish, will he give him a serpent? You can have fish as well. If he then, being
yes.
evil,
Oh yes, that's right. We'll also have fish.
Okay.
Because we have the koi pond. Oh my gosh, I already know the place. I know the place where I'm gonna build it. I know I'm gonna put my Japanese garden. But I am in Dominion. Go ahead, Tim. Okay, go ahead. Take it away.
if ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father, which is in heaven, give good things to them that ask him?
아니요, 말씀하세요.
말씀하세요.
농담이었어요, 농담.
예, 말씀하십시오. Shall I bring the microphone closer to her, or is it okay?
No, that's good. That's good.
오늘 말씀드릴 내용은 탕자를 성자로 만든 모니카의 기도라는 내용으로 말씀을 드리겠습니다.
판자를
당자를
성자를 만드는.
성자로 만든.
당자는 그저 도망가는 그저 자식.
당자는 아주 방탕한 사람.
자식. Yeah. So today I want to talk to you about the prayer of Monica, which turns the what is it? The prodigal son. Yes, I'm sorry, prodigal son into a holy son.
구하라 그러면 너에게 주실 것이요 찾으라 그러면 찾을 것이요 문을 두드리라 그러면 너희에게 열릴 것이다.
The verse that we just read in Matthew 7. Unfortunately, my browser has stopped working, but seek and ask and you shall receive, and seek and you shall find, and knock and it shall be opened unto you.
구하는 이마다 얻을 것이요 찾는 이가 찾을 것이요 두드리는 이에게 열릴 것이니라. 너희 중에 누가 아들이 떡을 달라 하면 돌을 주며 생선을 달라 하면 뱀을 주겠느냐.
Who among you, if his son asks for a stone, asks for bread, will give him a stone, or if he asks for fish, will give him a serpent?
너희가 악한 자라도 좋은 것으로 자식에게 줄 알거든 하물며 하늘에 계신 너희 아버지께서 구하는 자에게 좋은 것으로 주지 않겠습니까? 마태복음 7장 7절에서 11절입니다.
You are evil, but you know to give good things to your son. So how much more would your God, would your Father in heaven, will give good things to those that ask? These words of Matthew 7 through 11. I'm sorry, I'm not able to read directly from the Bible because my computer just shut down and it's trying to reboot. But that was my oral translation of the Korean. 말씀하세요. Yeah.
세상에 기적이 있다면 악인이 선인으로 변하는 것이 기적이요. 세상에 어려운 일이 있다면 그것은 사람의 구부러진 마음을 바르게 하고 더러운 마음을 깨끗하게 하는 일일 것입니다.
If there are miracles in the world, certainly the most wonderful miracle is when an evil person is transformed into a good person, or when a person's heart that is all bent out of shape is made straight again.
그러나 이는 사람의 힘으로는 될 수 없는 일이요. 하나님의 능력에 속한 일입니다.
But this cannot be done by the abilities of human beings. It can only be done by God's power.
인생으로는 하나님의 은혜를 강구하는 기도의 한 길밖에 없는 것입니다.
All human beings can do is pray for God's grace.
이것은 그 아들 어거스틴을 위하여 기도한 어머니 모니카의 기도의 정성에서 볼 수 있는 것입니다.
And we can see this kind of a prayer in Monica, the prayer of Monica, who was the mother of Augustine.
어거스틴이라 하면 그의 유명한 참회록으로 세상에 널리 알려졌고 기독교 역사상 대신학자로 유명한 감독으로 거룩한 성자로 많은 사람들의 존경을 받은 분이었습니다.
Augustine is respected by many. He's known for his book titled Confessions, and he was a bishop in one of the church fathers in the early church, and he was a respected theologian.
그러나 그가 31세에 기독교에 입신하기 타락의 길을 밟았습니다.
Before he converted to Christianity at the age of 31, however, he went a very fallen path.
그의 생애는 극히 방탕하며 무절제한 타락의 길을 밟아왔습니다.
He was a prodigal son, and he traveled a very licentious path.
그래서 그 어머니는 낮이나 밤이나 눈물의 기도의 정성을 드렸던 것입니다.
But his mother prayed for him in tears, day and night.
그는 날과 달을 참으로 어느 누가 느낄 수 없었던 안타까운 마음을 가지고 아들을 위하여 기도했던 것입니다.
She prayed for her son with desperation, that with a heart that no one would be able to understand.
그러나 5년이 지나도 10년이 지나도 아들은 회개의 빛이 보이지 아니하였습니다.
She prayed like this for 5 years, even 10 years, but even after that period, there was no sign that her son might be thinking of repenting.
이것을 본 어떤 감독은 그를 위로하는 말로 눈물의 아들은 결코 멸망하지 않는다고 격려하였던 것입니다.
And one bishop in the Christian church, a comforter, saying that a child of tears will certainly never be destroyed.
어느 날 밤 그는 아들에 대한 몽실을 보았습니다.
And one evening, one night, Monica had a dream about her son.
아들의 장래를 위하여 근심하며 밤이 깊도록 눈물을 흘리며 기도하다가 잠이 들었는데 한 꿈을 꾸었던 것입니다.
She had been praying for her son, and she'd fallen asleep during the prayer, and then I had this dream.
어머니 모니카는 망망한 창의 바다 위에 널조각 하나를 붙잡고 있는데 그 옆에 아들이 서 있었습니다.
She was in a very vast sea, in the middle of a sea, and her son was next to her.
그 아들은 세찬 파도 속에 빠져 정말로 목숨을 잃을 경지에 이르렀는데 건져달라고 애원하고 있었던 것입니다.
And her son was drowning, about to sink into the ocean, and was crying out desperately to her to be saved.
이때에 하늘로서 한 천사가 내려와서 어거스틴을 향하여 그 어머니의 널판을 가르쳤습니다.
And then an angel came from heaven and told Augustine that his mother would save him.
어거스틴은 그 널 조각을 붙잡고 어머니와 함께 서 있었습니다.
And so Augustine grabbed hold of the piece of the oar that his mother was holding, and he was able to not sink into the water.
이 몽실을 본 어머니는 퍽 기뻐하면서 여기에 무슨 큰 뜻이 있을 것으로 그는 소망했던 것입니다.
And when Monica awoke, she felt that there was some deep meaning in this dream.
여기에 거친 바다는 죄악 세상에 즉 고해를 의미하며 널판 자는 신앙으로 죄악 세상에 빠지지 않는 구원을 의미함이었습니다.
She felt that the ocean or the sea represented this world of suffering, and the piece of the oar that she was holding and hanging on to was faith that would prevent us from sinking into that world of suffering and evil.
이 몽실을 보고 얼마 되지 않아 어거스틴은 로마에 가서 암브로스 그 대감독의 설교를 듣고 회개하여 정말로 새 사람이 되었습니다.
Not long after, Augustine traveled to Rome, and there he heard a sermon given by Ambrose, and as a result of that, he converted to Christianity.
여러분들이 아시다시피 지성은 감천이라는 말이 있습니다.
There is a very old Korean saying that the ultimate sincerity moves heaven.
어머니의 눈물과 지성은 하늘에 상달되어 과연 눈물의 아들은 멸망하지 않고 공든탑은 무너지지 아니하여 방탕했던 이가 인류 역사의 길이 빛나는 성자로 후세의 만인의 존경을 받는 사표가 되었던 것입니다.
The incredible sincerity and dedication of Monica, the mother, saved her son, and he was the child of tears, and so he was not destroyed. And in fact, he repented and became a saint in the Christian church who was respected by many for thousands of years.
회개한 지 20년이 지난 후 어거스틴은 설교하다가 어머니의 말을 하면서 감격하여 목매어 눈물을 흘리며 말하지 못하면서 그는 참으로 어머니의 지성의 기도가 크다는 것을 느꼈던 것입니다.
20 years after his conversion, Augustine spoke of his mother in a sermon, and he talked about how the sincerity of his mother was saved him.
그는 잘못된 과거의 모든 역사를 회개하면서 눈물을 흘렸는데 어느 정도 눈물을 흘렸느냐 하면은 소나기 비가 오는 듯 눈물을 흘리며 기도하였다고 했습니다.
He wept many tears as he was speaking of his mother, and it was as if rain were falling.
그 어머니의 기도의 힘은 얼마나 큰 또 값있는 기도를 했는지 수십만 군대의 힘보다도 더 큰 위력을 가지고 있다고 말했습니다.
And he said that Augustine said that the power of his mother's prayer was greater than the power and the strength of an army of hundreds of thousands.
어느 영을 통하는 이의 말에 의하면은 그는 영계에 가서 개종을 해서 통일 식구가 되었으며 더 나아가서 영계에 있는 많은 영인들에게 원리 강의를 하며 말씀을 전하고 있다고 했습니다.
One spiritual person has said that Augustine later converted to unificationism in the spirit world, and that he is lecturing a divine principle to the people in the spirit world.
그가 제일 아쉬워했던 것은 지상에서 살아 있으면서 재림주님을 믿고 모시지 못해서 늘 그는 부러워하는 것은 지상인들을 향하여 여러분은 시대적인 혜택을 받아 지상에서 주님을 알고 믿고 모시니 얼마나 복된 자들입니까? 하고 그는 부러워했답니다.
His greatest regret is that he was not able to attend the Lord of the Second Advent during his time on earth. And he is very envious of people on earth that they were able to meet the Lord and attend him while he was here. And he is actually calling out to people on the earth, saying that you have the merit of the age. You are able to attend the Lord.
그는 말하기를 나도 이제 이 지상에 좀 늦게 출생했더라면 그 복과 그 은사를 여러분들과 함께 받을 수 있었을 것인데 아주 그는 부러워하고 정말로 살아서 재림주님을 만나지 못한 것을 너무너무 안타까워했습니다.
And he has said that if I were born later, then I would have been able to meet the Lord on the earth. And he regrets very deeply that he could not meet the Lord in the physical body on the earth.
그는 지금 영통한 분의 얘기인데 그는 지금 고급 영계에서 나를 기다리고 있다고 그는 말했습니다.
And also a spiritual person has said that right now St. Augustine is in a very high level in the spirit world, and he is waiting for me to come to him.
제가 왜 오늘 이 제목을 택했느냐 하면은 정말로 어거스틴께 부탁을 드리고 싶어서입니다.
The reason I mention this today is because I have a request to make to St. Augustine.
무슨 부탁이냐 하면은 정말로 지금 이 시대에 꼭 영계에서 역사하고 협조하고 함께해서 오늘 우리 이대 왕님을 중심 삼고 하는 이 모든 역사가 정말로 승리하고 성취되어질 수 있기를 바랍니다 하는 부탁을 드리기 위해서 제가 오늘 이 말씀을 선택했던 것입니다.
I want to ask Augustine to do his work of spiritual works in the spirit world, so that everything that the second king is doing, all the work that he is doing, can be victorious. I've chosen to speak about him today because I want to make that request to him.
그는 말하기를 이 지상에서 정말로 탕아와 같이 살아온 것을 후회하고 또 더 나아가서 회개할 뿐만 아니라 정말로 아버님의 뜻이 속속히 이 땅 위에 이루어져서 아버님이 바라시고 원하셨던 그대로의 역사가 하루속히 이 땅 위에 성취되고 승리되어지기를 바랍니다 하는 그 마음을 가지고 지금 영계에서 많은 분들에게 증거하고 기도하고 또 더 나아가서 전도하고 있는 것입니다.
His early life was a licentious and a life of a prodigal child, but he repented. He regretted that, and he repented for it. And after going to spirit world, he has understood the will of our Father, and he has been working there to evangelize the people in the spirit world, so that Father's will can be accomplished on this earth.
그는 회개하면서 정말로 잘못된 생을 내가 보내었구나 생각하면서 창자가 끊어지는 것 같은 그런 안타까운 마음을 가지고 정성 들이고 기도하며 우리 아버님께 용서를 빌고 정말로 내가 많은 분들의 가슴 속에 재림 주님을 심어주고 증거해야 되겠다고 그 자신이 말씀했던 것입니다.
He truly regretted and repented for his life very deeply, and he prayed to Father that he would plant the knowledge and the understanding of the Lord of the Second Advent in the hearts of many people, so that and to testify to the Lord of the Second Advent in the spirit world.
영계는 시공을 초월한 세계이기 때문에 어디서든지 어느 시간에든지 언제든지 기도하고 정성 드릴 수 있는데 그는 참 마음을 다하고 뜻을 다하고 정성을 모아서 오늘 우리 교회로 개종을 했다는 거 생각하면은 얼마나 고맙고 감사한지 모릅니다.
The spirit world transcends time and space, and so you can pray at any time and at any place. And I'm incredibly grateful that he overcame all difficulties to convert to our church.
그래서 한 번은 아버님께서 말씀하셔서요. 참 그는 정말로 자기의 과거를 회개하고 청산함과 동시에 더 나아가서 이 원리가 얼마나 소중하고 귀하다는 걸 알고 내가 정말로 영계에서 많은 영인들에게 이 말씀을 전해 그들로 하여금 자기와 같은 사람을 만들어야 되겠다고 하는 그 자체가 놀라운 것이라고 아버님께서 말씀해 주었습니다.
Father once spoke about Augustine and said that he was an incredible person because he not only repented deeply, but he also he also has done a lot of work to help others to repent as he has repented and to become like him.
영계에서 하루속히 이 뜻이 성취되어 아버님이 정말로 이루시고자 원하셨던 그 세계, 이루시고자 하셨던 그 역사가 하루속히 성취되어 정말로 이 천일국을 이루는 여기에 많은 공을 세울 수 있고 또 더 나아가서 반드시 이 천일국 건설하는 여기에 큰 중요한 역사를 하고도 남을 수 있도록 해달라고 저도 기도하고 있는 것입니다.
I'm also praying for him that he can accomplish, he can do a lot of work for God's will in the spirit world, so that this will can be victorious as quickly as possible, and that he can do much work for that end.
오늘 우리의 뜻은 사람의 뜻으로 사람이 자유로 하려고 해서 되는 것이 아니라 영계에서 정말로 협조하고 역사하고 함께 하시고 할 때에 비로소 승리를 볼 수 있는 것입니다. 그래서 나는 기도할 때에 정말로 함께 해서 이 역사에 큰 역할을 해서 하루속히 아버님의 뜻이 이 땅 위에 하늘에서 이루어진 것 같이 땅에서도 이루어지다 말씀하셨던 그대로 이 땅 위에 승리할 수 있고 성취되어질 수 있고 정말로 온 땅 위의 인류가 하나님이 지으실 때에 말씀하셨던 또 생각하셨던 그대로의 역사가 이 땅 위에 하루속히 나타날 것을 믿고 저는 정성을 드리고 있으니까 드리고 있는 그대로의 열매는 반드시 맺어질 것입니다.
Truly, the work that we are trying to accomplish, the will that we are trying to accomplish here, cannot be done by human beings. It has to be done It has to be done only if there is the assistance and the help of others of God and that spirit world. God has to do it. And I pray every day that His will will be accomplished on earth as it is in heaven, and that the will that God set out to accomplish at the beginning of creation can be established on this earth as quickly as possible.
감사합니다.
Thank you very much.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. We'll be right back after this short break.
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report, Friday, May 12th, 2017. I'm your host, Hyungjae Sean Moon, the second king of Cheongguk, and we see the beautiful sky, and the sun is now peeking over the horizon. Can we get a shot of the beautiful Cheongguk Vista landscape? Can we get a shot of it? As our tech team is now scrambling to turn the camera around, so we can see a beautiful shot of the Cheongguk Palace and the beautiful view overlooking the horizon of the tri-state area. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Wow. Stunning, stunning views. Oh, it's not up yet? Go ahead, play that view, y'all. Oh my goodness, look at that. Play that view. Woo, Lord mercy. Lord have mercy over there. Here, go a little more right. 오른쪽으로 조금 더. A little more to the right. There they go, trying to manipulate that camera so it listens. Fading out. And it's fading back in. There we go as we try to get that view of the beautiful view that we are seeing over here. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, look at that. Praise the Lord Almighty. What are all those flashing things over there? Look at that. Look at all those flashing. Oh, that must be inside here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Put that up on the screen so everybody can see that. Holy Shemitah. Oh, my Lord, have mercy on me. Mercy, mercy, mercy. It said, from the mountain to the valley, hear our praises rise to you. From the heavens to the nations. What's that? Hear us singing, feel the air. Look at that beautiful view, y'all. Check that out. Bang! Go ahead, put that on big screen for everybody and our studio audience to see that gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous glory of God. Look at that. It looks like a majestic picture. Get me off that screen, man. Get me out of there. Get me out of there. Get me out of there. Just put the... Yeah, there we go. Bye-bye. I'm out of there. Look at that gorgeous, gorgeous, majestic landscape. Wow. Look at that sleeping beauty now beginning to rise as the golden glow of the radiant sun warms the chilled earth from its frost-bitten blanket. The shroud of frost is taken and melted away into the glorious, radiant, golden hues of the morning sun, alighting and creeping in a mighty way into all the little places of the earth that now rejoice and sing the praises of the Lord Almighty God, creating this beautiful, beautiful landscape. Wow, look at that cloud sea that we see over there, overlooking the horizon. Beautiful. Can we get a view of the river down there, the Delaware Valley River? As we now move the camera oh so gently so everybody can see the beautiful Delaware Valley River. Look at that. The spring is here. Spring is here with the beautiful forest now coming into bloom as new buds and new leaves spring forth in a refreshing orchestra of color and a magnificent entourage of sounds and life. Wow, look at that view, folks. Can you see the beautiful cloud sea and the little fog that is ever so magically floating above all? Like a little blanket, a little layer of whimsical cotton, ready to be ignited into the glory and majesty of God. Wow. Holy Shemitah. Alrighty, folks, we are back as we sing praises to God this morning. Now, we are entering back into the demonic realm where the devils live and play, and where political Satanism attempts to create actual Satanism on this earth. Look at this shocking article from Yahoo News reported Argentina's first transgender police chief on duty. Reported by the AP, another lunatic, leftist, degenerating country. You know, Argentina used to be one of the most prosperous countries when it was actually free and conservative and Christian.
Yes.
In the 1920s, 30s, 40s, I believe, up to the 40s.
Not the
Is that right?
40s, but about the 20s, yes.
Up to the 20s. It was one of the most prosperous countries in the world because they had a lot of free markets, private property, etc. Ever since they adopted their communist regime, it has collapsed and become a laughingstock, now even further degenerating into literal societal insanity and chaos. Buenos Aires, Argentina, Analia Pasantino served in Argentina federal police as a man for 20 years. Then he can't, I can't even say, you can't call him a she, man. She says a freaking he.
Yeah.
How can you call her a she? She's a he. That's an insult to real women. I mean, give me a freaking break. The guy has, you know, he has balls and he has a huge penis.
In 1914,
He's got a hairy penis with with two dangling testicles, and we gotta freaking call her a she-man. Give me a break. It's a dude as a he.
In 1914, Argentina was among
That's
the
an
10
insult
richest.
to real women, okay?
Among the 10
That's an
richest
insult
countries.
to real women, all right? Give me a freaking break. What was that? I'm sorry, what was that?
In 1914, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Argentina was among the 10 richest countries in the world.
Look at that.
Ahead of France, Germany, and Italy.
This is what you get when you give yourself over to to be sluts of socialism and sluts of communism. You get played, and now you become insane with further degeneration, degradation. There you go. He is smiling these days, though beaming with pride to be wearing a police badge again. And the sign on her office, his office reads Chief. Nearly a decade after a psychiatric report said Pasantino suffered from an irreconcilable illness that made him unfit to serve, he was welcomed back to the police force this weekend, appointed deputy police commissioner in the Judicial Commission's department because Argentina is so far collapsing, and now they have to focus on these ridiculous, inane, and insane issues to get people even more into the loony bin so they don't complain about the decrepit and corrupt bureaucracies and the corrupt federal governments. No, don't complain about that. Let's celebrate how we have now a man who for 20 years has been police chief, and now he comes out and now he can wear makeup in the open, and now we have to all pretend that we applaud it, and we all have to pretend that, oh, yeah, we're so modern and trendy, even though our bureaucrats are robbing us, and even though our, the super elites in Argentina own the entire nation, 1% own the entire nation. Oh, we live as slaves, but we're so trendy. We're at the forefront. We're avant-garde, and we're pushing the transgender agenda forth. And people are so stupid. They're so dumb. They're just like little herds being herded off a cliff. I mean, they're just made to believe these little tangential, ridiculous little fantasyland fictions so that they believe that they're actually something, that the establishment gives them this false identity of themselves so they can never actually inherit the true identity, which is that the Argentinian people own Argentina, not the elites who are trying to use these divergence techniques? No. Distraction, what's that word? Distraction and divert. There's a word in magic when you have a play of hands, a sleight of hands, and it starts with a D. There's another one, not distraction. There's another one where you are, not deception. Anyways, a word escapes me. While they are doing their sleight of hand in front of all the Argentinian people, never allowing them to really claim their true identity and true ownership of the country. They want the Argentinian people to accept this false identity of themselves as being this trendy little world leader in transgender rights, and that's why we're so great, even though their economy is collapsing, even though they're one of the poorest countries now in Latin America, even though they were once so successful, now they're so pathetic. No, don't complain about any of that. Don't complain about the utterly corrupt, rampant corruption in the bureaucracies of the government. Don't complain about the federal government. No, because they're leading the way in transgender rights. And we have a first transgender police who now can finally wear makeup after 20 years of having to be oppressed. Oh, he's so oppressed. He couldn't wear lipstick and he couldn't wear eyeshadow. Oh, the pain. Oh, he couldn't wear blush and he could not blow dry his hair. Oh, it was so painful. It was so painful. He couldn't wear lip gloss and lip liner. He couldn't do his eye makeup and could not wear earrings. Oh, it's so painful. Give me a break! Give me a break! This is how pathetic the Western world has become, Tim. This is how pathetic the Western world has become. Look, in Trinidad, people are free and responsible. You can dress up as a woman if you want. But that doesn't mean people have to applaud you. You understand? Mm-hmm. If you dress up as a woman, you better be ready to be made fun of. You better be ready to be made fun of. Because you're acting in a very wacky way. Just like if you wear your pajamas with your freaking buttons undone in the back, your ashtray hanging out your backside, you're gonna be made fun of. You can't say, hey, how come you're not being tolerant of my ashtray? How come you're not being trendy and accepting me for who I am? I am a pajama gender. I'm a pajama spaghetti monster gender. And in our world, in our universe, we walk around with pajamas and our booty hanging out. This is how we go have breakfast at Perkins. And we order corned beef hash with sunny side up eggs and a bagel in pajamas because I'm trendy. And I identify with this reality in my universe.
Is that the trend these days?
No. See, you have the freedom to do that, but if you do that, that's indecent exposure.
I think I'll eat breakfast.
And we have
at
the
home.
freedom to say, hey, officer, that man is walking around with his ashtray hanging out. That is indecent exposure. There are children in this restaurant. Please arrest him, or at least tell him to button himself up.
Peace, please.
You understand? We have the right. We have the right. We don't have to applaud you. Oh, you're so brave. Oh, he's so courageous. Oh, he's so brave. Oh, quick. Emma Watson, come. Applaud him. Oh, yes. Meryl Streep, please. Applaud him. Yes. Force all the people to applaud. Arrest anybody who doesn't applaud. Yes. This is a freaking cult. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. What a pathetic story. Pathetic story. Such a pathetic story. And his wife was so supportive. And his wife finally told him, look, while he was doing makeup, okay, the article says, while he was doing makeup, the wife told him, this will be the last time you ever walk out of this house with makeup. What did she say? Okay,
Without makeup?
Look at what he said. The wife, who is a lawyer, said to him, the decisive moment came when my wife finally told me, either you step out or you'll never leave the house looking like this again. I put up with you for 3 hours getting ready and putting on makeup. That was the decisive moment. That was the decisive moment. Pasantino and Mauro were high school sweethearts and have been a couple for 31 years. Oh my gosh, can you imagine the poor wife, who now has to live with this man? Okay, who's dressing up as a woman, putting on red makeup. Honey, can I borrow your lip liner? Mine is all empty now. Honey, my eyebrows, I need your eyebrow tweezers, honey. Honey, I have to shave my pubic hair around my penis and wrinkly ass testicles. Can I borrow your leg razor? Give me a freaking break. Oh my goodness, Regis and Hannah watching, if they're watching from South America. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord, what I have to do, see Tim, what I have to deal with on a daily basis. What I have to deal with on a daily basis doing the King's Report. Give me a break. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. You see, and this is what's so hilarious. This is what the elites wanted to force on us as a population, especially in America. Mm-hmm. This is what they want. This is, but they're beta testing in different countries and they're now parading this as the norm and the standard and the glory. This is the glory of human civilization right here. No, this is when human civilization starts to collapse. Do you understand? Starts to collapse and start adopting all sorts of inanity and insanity. But they wanted to actually enforce this on us as normal and standard behavior. They wanted to enforce on this as if we all had to say, applauding. Oh, I'm trendy. Oh, yes. Oh, I live in a cult. Hillary Clinton is great. Yes, Barack Obama is wonderful. He's the Lord and Savior. Yes, and the lords of transgender and homosexual agenda are coming. Yes, take over. Yes, we surrender. Radical Islam. Yes, we surrender. We give up our guns. Yes, we love you. We surrender. This is what they wanted. To us to be a pathetic Europe and a pathetic taken over commie South America. Not saying the people down there are pathetic. They've just laid down to the elites. They've laid down their lives to them in the lies of the politicians that have led them into globalism and to led them into centralism and to led them into political Satan. This is what you get. You got now the chief of police walking around in a freaking dress and high heels and makeup. Can you imagine if Sheriff Philip Buki out here was walking around saying, I have to come out and I have to wear my dress and I have to wear my makeup. Are you kidding me?
That would be terrible.
That would be a ridiculous joke. Of course, he would never do that because Sheriff Buki is a real man. He's a real American. He's a real freedom-loving man. And he loves and supports the Second Amendment. He loves people being armed. I mean, the man is a true patriot.
Yes.
And now girls can see, like even the Queen, she was saying, she used to not see the difference between American men and European men. Mm-hmm. And there was this whole thing that, oh, European men are better. No, European men are effeminized. Look what happened to them. They can't even stand up and fight against these radical migrants that are raping women. Oh, God. These girls are so freaking stupid. They're told to lie that, oh, these weaker men will take care of you better. See, they're loving and they won't threaten you and they won't harm you. And, oh, look at those American men. They have guns. Oh, they're so rough and tumbling. Oh, no. Look what happened to Europe. That's what you get when you train your men to not be manly little troglodytes and jellyfish. They can't even stand up for a woman while she's being raped in front of them by migrants being taken over by Wahhabis. Give me a break. That's why now, on the forefront of the real fight for sovereignty, it's America. It's American men and women. And particularly American masculine men who are standing up saying, screw you to the wall. We got our guns. You want to fight? Come and take it, baby. You see, you need that. You need that. You get rid of that. You get globalism. You get bankers running over you and owning everything. You get put into poverty. You get neocolonialism. You get a neo-caste system. You get to be a slave. Oh, Lord. This article got my blood pressure up again. We'll be right back after this short break on the King's Report.
looking back at me. Will we leave behind the innocent to grieve on their own, on the run, when their lives have only begun? These could be our daughters and our sons. And just like a drum, I can hear their hearts beating. I know my God won't let them be defeated. Every child has a dream to belong and be loved. Boys become kings, girls will be queens, wrapped in your majesty. When we love the least of these, then they will be brave and free. Shout your name in victory. When we love the least of these, when we love the least of these. Break our hearts once again. Help us to remember when we were only children hoping for a
At break of day, in hope we rise. We speak your name.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this Friday, May 12, 2017. I'm your host, Hyungjin Sean Moon, the second king of Chanyeonguk. Oh Lord, God is good. And God is good all the time, even though we live in a world of insanity and where the political Satanists do not rest. For the Bible says we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers and rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. And that is exactly what we fight every day with you all on the King's Report. Check out the Ninja Turtle cup mug. The Ninja Turtle cup mug. I also used to love the Ninja Turtles. Did I buy this or did the Queen buy this for me? I think I may have picked that up at the at the mall a couple years ago. Was it me? A couple years ago. Oh, you guys, pull up the Ninja Turtle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles CIG version. There's a CIG version of Ninja Turtles that the kids I used to watch with the kids. But it's a new version. It's actually on Nickelodeon. And it's really well done CIG. I mean, really high quality CIG. We haven't watched it in years, though, right? When we first got here, we were watching with the kids together, right, Amma? Remember that? We were watching the CIG Ninja Turtles with them. So that was really fun. We haven't watched it in about a year and maybe 2 years. There you go. Do you have a video of that? Do you have like the intro video that they actually have? The whole thing is like a rap song in the beginning to make it more appealing. But it's really cool in terms of the CIG. They have a pretty cool animation that they've made, and it's all the fun characters. Let's see if we can pull up the rap. There's that song, man. Here, pick up that. Let me see that. Let me see that. Ninja. Here we go. Turtle power. Bam! Ah! Where my ninjas at, baby? Here we go. There's Leo. Hey, he did a reverse jumping sidekick right there. There's Donnie. Raphael. That was a kickflip right there. I know how to kickflip. I can kickflip. I can skate too, fool. I can skate too. I can kickflip too. I can do double kickflips, fool. Don't know that about the second king. I can skate. Don't know that. I can do freaking heel flips too. Bam! There you go. There you go. Right there, folks. There you go. Ninja Turtles, bring me back the King's Report. Wow, you never know what to expect on the King's Report, folks. Getting back to our top news of the day, new South Korean president vows to address North Korea broader tensions urgently. Reported by Reuters, in Seoul, South Korea's new liberal president Moon Jae-in was sworn in on Wednesday and vowed to tackle immediately the difficult tasks of addressing North Korea's advancing nuclear ambitions and soothing tensions with the United States and China. There was also news in Korea, which was sent to us last night in the wee hours of the night, showing that both the BBC and ABC News, in using their AI technology spell check machine, accidentally, when they put in President Moon, it put in President Moon Sun-myung. Sun-myung Moon.
Google Translate has been
Google
doing that.
Translate, okay?
Yeah.
Because father is the most famous, obviously, Korean person in the world, and of course the most famous Korean moon in the world. And so the computer automatically translated President Moon as President Moon Sun-myung, Reverend Sun-myung Moon. So they have this picture on ABC and BBC News with the President Moon Jae-in, and under that the captions read, Reverend Sun-myung Moon. Oh,
The
Lord.
Japanese media has been going crazy over this because they're being trolled.
How hilarious is that? That is so hilarious. Because, of course, President Moon Jae-in represents the false moon. Of course, if the Han Mother did not fall and did not blow off and blow away all of Father's foundation and erase him, the real moons would be the president and the rulers of Korea by now. Moon Kuk-jin would be the president, not Moon Jae-in. Moon Hyung-jin, the second king of Jeongeuk, would be not the president, but we would have a huge foundation in Korea, and start Jeongeuk Constitution would be started from there. People militia would be starting there. Global, worldwide, the global foundation, etc. Anyways, the point is, that whole foundation was stolen by Satan, but it's been used as bait. In Korea, we call it Mickey. Not Mickey Shi, Kim Bun's wife. Not Mickey Shi, who is getting much stronger as a ninja. If she's watching, she's probably laughing now. But as Mickey, as bait, thrown out as bait. So that God and Father can reclaim the entire world from Satan's grasp. Satan would take the family fed with the Han Mother, but God would reclaim the entire foundation back. And that's what's happening, folks. It's now happening. So many things are on the horizon. Huge, huge breakthroughs are coming. But South Korea's new liberal president, Moon Jae-in, was sworn in Wednesday. Moon said in his first speech as president he would begin efforts to defuse security tensions on the Korean peninsula and negotiate with Washington and Beijing to ease a row over a U.S. missile defense system being deployed in the South. In a congratulatory phone call, U.S. President Donald Trump, look at that. Moon Jae-in was saying that he was going to call Kim Jong-un before Donald Trump, which is ridiculous. That is absurd. It's the U.S. that has preserved the peace, and the U.S. troops and soldiers that have preserved the peace in the East over the last 60 plus years, which all these spoiled Koreans under 50 have enjoyed and luxed in, indulged in. And that's why the under 50 crowd all voted for the commie Moon Jae-in and the socialist Moon Jae-in. They're spoiled. And the reality of the matter is, he's a fool. He was saying that he was going to meet Kim Jong-un before President Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? So Donald Trump already knew this, okay? So President knew this. He didn't take anything with his ego. It's not about his ego. He just wants to preserve peace. And President Trump is now taking on the deep state. He just fired Comey. Spicer may be on the list because he's a neocon. Spicer and Priebus are same, and they're part of the neocon establishment. They may be on the chopping block, which is great. That means Trump is actually starting to clean house and go after, and McMaster, who's also a super neocon, he is a warmonger. Trump is going after him. So it looks like Trump is starting to take heed to the concerns being voiced by the alternative media and the real patriots. And he's starting to hear that, and he's starting to go after the actual political side, both on the right and left. And if he gets rid of Spicer, if he gets rid of Priebus, if he gets rid of McMaster, and he starts replacing them with liberty-based people, he bring in Packy Buchanan, bring in Roger Stone, bring in Alex Jones, bring in Breitbart, bring in Steve Bannon again, pushing out Kushner, pushing out Ivanka, then we know Trump is doing what he promised. He is doing it, and he didn't have an ego about this. The South Korean president said he's going to meet Kim Jong-un, the lunatic Kim Jong-un, before Trump. Trump says, I'm not going to have an ego about it. I'm going to call him and I'm going to congratulate him because I want to keep peace in the East. That's a real man. That's a real man. He is doing his job and preserving the peace of the world. Even though he said he doesn't want to be world president. I mean, basically, the U.S. president serves in that capacity because he has so much power.
You don't have much choice.
So much power.
Yeah. If you're the president of the U.S., you don't have much choice.
There you go, folks. And the White House has said the two agreed to continue to strengthen the alliance between their countries. South Korean statement said Trump and North Korea's nuclear problem was difficult, but one that could be resolved. North Korea is believed to be preparing for a sixth nuclear test and is working to develop a nuclear tipped missile capable of reaching the United States. There you go. The Trump administration has been dismayed by Moon's request questioning of deployment of the U.S. missile defense system in South Korea. But Trump already preempted that. He already got the THAAD system in. Mm-hmm. He knew Moon Jae-in would be opposed to it. He knew the lefty commies would not want it because they want the country to be weak. They want to be economic collapse. They want to be able to continue to use their socialist policies, to gain more and more centralized power, to collapse their country, to force it under globalism and force it under the world governance system so that they can be parts of the cogs of the puppet masters to pull their country under complete domination, complete federal world control, bring them under the Asia-Pacific Union, which they're going to be trying to push. Watch, with Moon Jae-in in line. I can't believe, and no Asians are even thinking about this. It's ridiculous. They already did it with the EU. They already beta tested with the EU. They took it over with the Soviet Union in EU now, Soviet Europe. They tried to do it with NAFTA and tried to implode the U.S. into Canada and Mexico. But because the American males are strong here with guns, they said, F you. And you try to do that, we're going to blast, we're going to fight with our guns. We're going to have a war here. You see that? That's why you need real men. That's why you need real men with arms who empower their families and their communities to stand up against tyranny. And they could not establish it here because of the Christian men who stand as the head of their household, as the protectors of their communities. And of course, there's a lot of gun-toting women here as well. But it is, of course, predominantly men. The real masculinity has not been removed from America because we still have the power to have guns. And that gives us power, real power. And it gives us an attitude that says, screw you if you're trying to take this freedom I have away. And I will fight to the death. I'd rather be dead than red, not red than dead. But they've already done it with the EU. They already beta tested, they already succeeded because the men laid down and sledded themselves out to their oppressors, to the elites. They listened to the stupid liberal girls who tempted them with sex and said, we'll bang you as long as you become effeminate and we'll pretend that we like you, even though we'll have sex with other men who are strong and aggressive. But we won't tell you that. They laid down to that crap just to get a bang. And now 40 years later, they've screwed up their country and now there's no real men in Europe that will stand up and die and fight. Macron is the epitome of a cuckolded man. He is the epitome. He's got a 24-year-older drama queen, drama teacher who had sexual feelings for him when he was 15 years old as a literally like a pedophile. as she instructed him on drama and acting class and saw his potential. And then when he came out of college, wanted to bang him as a 40, 50-year-old woman while she was married and 3 kids.
With a son who's older than he is.
What do you have to say? What do you say to that? What do you say? That becomes the standard of the presidency. Give me a break. Give me a break. Oh, and then but no, President Trump has a 23-year younger wife. Well. Let's look at the biological difference. Let's study biology, shall we? Let's see the reason why even it's not as weird in society over time, over the entire span of human history, that men are dating younger women. I'm not saying that, of course, that's not good. It's one wife, one husband, forever. But the reason why that's more socially acceptable, because they can still produce children. Men's sperm at 90 years old can produce children. Women's eggs die after 40. Approximately around 40. Die, they're dead. No more children. Barren. No more children. So if somebody who cannot reproduce is dating somebody way young, there's no necessity for that other than just liking a younger buck. No necessity for that. Has nothing to do with experience, the same lifestyle, the same experience base that they have at 40-year-olds usually hang out with 40-year-olds. 50-year-olds usually hang out with 50-year-olds because they have the same experience base, life experience. You don't usually marry someone 25 years younger than you. Especially if you're an older lady with 3 children. What the hell you have in common with a 25-year younger man who's gonna have so much lust for every other woman walking around? And of course, men are way more sexually lust-filled.
Maybe she doesn't care.
So, I mean, Stefan Molyneux has a whole thing on this, okay? It's just biologically, Trump can still have children with a younger wife. Of course, from a principal perspective, it's one wife, one husband, and we have lots of children, so those children then can continue lineage. Yes. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And we grow and we live and we age and we die together as husband and wife. That's beautiful. But again, they beta tested in Europe, they beta tested in America, that failed because of the American gun owners, and now they're trying to beta test it, now they're trying to get it done in Asia. With the Asia Pacific Union. Watch, because they got a leftist in Korea, which now is going to weaken the presence of the U.S. in the East, while Europe is collapsing, while the migrants are pouring in, while Saudi Arabia and radical jihadi Islam is spreading over the world. Perfect timing to push the Asia Pacific Union, the APU, the APU. And let me see, where would the headquarters be of the APU, Tim? Can you guess? Can you guess where the headquarters would be for the APU, the Asia Pacific Union? Gee, I wonder, where could the headquarters be? Let me see. Who was at the Davos group this January saying that he pledges to serve the Bilderberg group and the super elite Rothschilds? Which Asian man was there being paraded as the new superpower leader? Let's see now. Such a hard Jeopardy question. Tim, would you have any clue who that might be?
I think the Jeopardy answer is, who is Xi Jinping?
Who is the tyrant who organ harvests Christians and organ harvests Falun Gong members for meditating in a park? Who is the one who oppresses 1.6 billion poor Asian people? Who is the one who corrupts and has pedophile rings and has sex rings and can own any person in China? Yes, your beloved little teddy bear panda. Xi Jinping.
I get 100 points.
Gee whiz, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the headquarters of the APU is in China, Tim. It is so pathetic. Asian people don't even think they're so clueless to the reality of what's happening. The globalism and the centralism and the political Satanism is now coming in. Why? Because Korea is now falling to the left. It's falling to the left. That's going to now pressure, of course, the American is going to give friction. It's not going to increase. It's not going to aid it. It's going to increase the friction between America and the U.S. and Korea with Japan. So don't be surprised when you see China and the Bilderberg Group working diligently hard to create one Asia. When I was in Korea, they were already talking about one Asia.
Well, of course, Japan talked about this, the Great East Asia Prosperity Sphere, before
There we
World
go.
War II.
Okay, but they were, I hope they were meaning in the freedom and responsibility manner.
Well, I mean, before World War II, this was the imperial
Oh, yes, before World
dream,
War, you said
a
before.
vision of,
Oh,
of Japan.
yes, of
Yes,
course.
under the Japanese emperor.
Yes. That would create true peace under the totalitarian pre-World War II Japanese Empire. Yes, that would. Imperialism and peace under Japan, the washoku. Oh, Lord. Japanese food all over.
Yes.
Don't be surprised, Asia, when you see the globalists and the centralists and the political Satanists trying to push one Asia 2017, one Asia 2018. When we were in Asia 2012 and before, they were trying to push one Asia. They had banquets, they had propaganda media. We're one Asia, all together. And they had China people dancing together, and they had commercials with Koreans and Japanese dancing together in Philippines, and we're all one. We're Asia. We're going to take over. This is the whole thing.
Yes.
They were doing that in 2010.
Yes.
What was that preparing for? That is called psychological pre-programming. So they're pre-programmed the population to believe in this cult of this one Asia that will dominate the world and will bring hope in the new millennium, the new future. And it's all going to be about Asia. No, it's not. It's not going to be about you, Asian people. It's going to be about making you poor and making you slaves to the Bilderberg Group and to the political Satanists that are pedophiles. It's going to be about trafficking your children and centralizing all power to Chinese Beijing so that they can rule over your countries and take away your sovereignty and make laws about your country from freaking China. You don't believe me? You don't think that's happening? Hello, Brussels makes laws for the UK. Brussels makes laws on the streets of Paris, France. You're the one who deluded. You're the one who's crazy. You're the one who does not know reality. They're already doing it in Europe. And you don't think it can happen in Asia? Oh, because why? They love Asian people? Give me a break. They see you as slave labor. Why do you think China has slave factories that work child labor 5-year-olds from 9 to 12 at night? And they don't do anything about those sweat camps, huh? No, China's able to run the sweat camps with poor Chinese people in it. That's okay. That's fine. The UN doesn't say anything about that. But if the US and gun owners say Hillary Clinton is bad and dangerous, well, they're the most dangerous threat on earth, the Republican Party, according to Noam Chomsky. Give me a break. You are the one who's deluded. You're the one who's living in a trance. We at the King's Report, under sovereignty, under true power, we are awake. You are the one who is sleeping. And don't be surprised when the APU, or they name it something stupid and trendy, Asia One Pacific, whatever, something stupid like that. But let's just call it the APU, which is the Asia Pacific Union. Don't be surprised when they try to put that Soviet system on you, just like they did to Europe. And don't be surprised when they start letting the migrants pour in. But guess what? This time, it won't be Islamic Muslims, Wahhabis, who are your migrants. Guess who's going to be your migrants? It's going to be your historical enemies they're going to pull in as your migrants. You see that? They know that Europe is a historical enemy with Islam. So they purposefully bring in Saudi-backed Wahhabi Islamists into Europe. Why? Because they want to create division, conquering, and stir up this historical tribal divisions. They'll do the same with you, Korea. They'll do the same with you, Japan, your historical enemies, Asia, in Asia, which are what? The Han Chinese. How do the Han Chinese take over Tibet? They send Han Chinese into it. They do repopulation, they do repopulating. It's called population shifting. They send hundreds of thousands of Han Chinese to take over Tibetan civilization, and they did. Oh, but see, I'm the one who's the crazy one, right? No. I'm informed. See, I'm educated. You're the crazy. You're the uninformed one. You're the one who's uneducated. You don't know how the Han Chinese operate. I know how they operate. And they repopulate tribes that they want to get rid of, giving incentives in the modern time, giving them incentives to move in and take over with the Han Chinese culture. Which is what? It's an imperial culture. They call themselves the Tangnianjie. I speak Chinese, you do not. They see themselves as the Tang Dynasty people when they were the imperial cult masters of the world and of the entire Silk Route and of the entire Asia and Eurasia. See, I'm the one who actually read history and specialize in Tang Dynasty because I was doing a paper on Chongyun, who is a Buddhist monk, and comparing him to John of Damascus, 9th century Catholic priest view on Trinitarianism. See, I know it, you don't. I'm educated. Give me a break. Don't be surprised when the APU comes a knocking on the door and the propaganda for One Asia begins to flood your TV screens with Mr. Moon Jae-in. We'll be right back after this short break with more on this top story. Stay with us.
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today. Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this month, May 12th, 2017. It's a Friday, folks, and I am on Holy Ghost fire, fighting these political demons and Satanists. Damn, give me a break. On lighter news, let's guys, look up antihistamine. We have some people here in our King's Report war room where we fight the spiritual war, who are under the allergy bug. So let's look up antihistamines, natural. Let's look up natural antihistamines. I know, of course, they have pharmaceutical drugs, but let's look at some of the antihistamines. There is somebody like one of our brothers here, Gideon Rauchi. He overcame his allergies by eating a tablespoon of coconut oil every day. Coconut oil is, of course, antibacterial. I don't know if it's antihistamine, but let's look at that. Let's look at that. 4 best natural antihistamines. Go ahead. Yeah, hits that. Let's see that. Let's see what the Naturopaths and Healthline recommends. Go ahead, keep scrolling down there. Stinging nettle. There we go. Stinging nettle. That is actually a bushcraft. Bushcrafters always talk about stinging nettle as a wild edible. Go ahead, zoom in on that, folks. Go ahead and zoom in on that, y'all. That's our war room, desk room right there. The internet, the King's Report tech team in battle, engaged against the enemy. There we go. Now our enemy is allergies. And now we're looking for good histamines. Here we go. Stinging nettle, a common herb in natural medicine. Stinging nettle may also be a natural antihistamine. In one study, 58% of participants found their symptoms relieved with the use of freeze-dried nettles. And 69% rated it better than placebo. Stinging nettle can be found online in health food stores. The study participants in question used 300 milligrams a day. All right, so all you antihistamine sufferers out there, stinging nettle is an option for you. Let's go down to number 2. Quercetin is an antioxidant found naturally in onions, apples, and other produce. Several studies have demonstrated the antihistamine effects of quercetin. One found that it even lessened the respiratory side effects of allergies in rats by reducing inflammatory response in their airways. You can purchase quercetin as a supplement or simply add more quercetin-rich foods to your diet. That would be onions and apples. Wow. Did you know that? Maybe you can make an applesauce with onions. Yeah, they like that. They like that. They like that. Hey, I'm ready for my applesauce with onions. There you go, folks. All right, let's go down to number 3. Bromelain is a compound found most commonly in pineapples. Wow, pineapples. There you go. Pineapples and apples. Hey, you can do a nice fruit salad with that. Just hit that up with the pineapple and apples. You can hit that in your green juice.
With onions.
You can add the onions for a little spice. Hey, add a little ginger while you're at it. You know what I'm saying? The ginger hits you up with some good, not antihistamine, but good for your respiratory system. Bromelain, okay? Bromelain shows it's said to be effective in treating respiratory diseases, distress, and inflammation associated with allergies. One study suggests taking between 400 and 500 milligrams 3 times daily. That is found in pineapples. So we have pineapples, we have apples, we have onions, and we have stinging nettle. What else do we have? Number 4. Let's go to number 4. And it is the famous vitamin C. Load up on vitamin C. It's easy to find natural antihistamine. It's prevalent in many fruits and vegetables and also in supplement form. Because it's free of side effects and non-toxic, it's a safe solution to treating stuffy nose and other unpleasant symptoms of seasonal allergies. Experts suggest taking at least 2 grams per day for the best antihistamine result. That would be how many? Would it be 2,000 grams?
2,000
Milligrams?
milligrams, yes,
2,000 milligrams per day. So that's 2 pills if you have a 1,000 milligram pill. When you suffer from allergies, relief can seem just out of reach, but by combining natural remedies with proper self-care and allergen avoidance when possible, you can find allergy help. Also remember that while food sources of these antihistamines are natural and safe, supplements are not regulated in the United States, so be sure to get them from a quality source. And check with your doctor prior to using supplements. So there you go, folks. You have some options, at least to pursue with your doctor and with healthcare professionals and or nice quality stores. Vitamin C, bromelain, which is found in pineapples, quercetin, which is found in apples and onions, and you have, of course, stinging nettle. Stinging nettle tea is sold by, I think, there's a whole apothecary tea company that sells all sorts of medicinal herbs and that now there's in supermarkets. They're in Wegmans. I've seen them at Wegmans. I've seen them at different supermarkets who do organic. They're definitely at Whole Foods. Stinging nettle is easy to order online. Okay? So that is an option, folks, if you're dealing with allergy. Before you jump to the man-made pharmaceutical drugs enriching pharmaceutical monopolies, hey, try some of the medicinals that God created. Try them. Of course, consult your doctor before you do so. There you go. That is our health segment of the King's Report. We have to have a nice little cool swoop in, like, once we have our logo. Hey, Misha's finally putting up the final touches to our cool logo. Once we got our logo, we'll have it flying in and switching on. And now our health section. And back to our news. We're gonna have some cool animation, hopefully, after for all our viewers to enjoy. And we got the sweet King's Report logo with the shield of faith, with the Tongil mark, the kingdom mark, emblazoned on top of it. Can we show it to our audience? Do we show the Britain? Okay, we can't. So we're still putting our final. Then we got the two, and everything's in gold on a beautiful white black background. We got the shield of faith. We got the sword of truth. We got the 3 crowns, the 3 kingship. We got 2 AR-15s. We got the sword of truth. We got King's Report. Bam! Smashing the demons. Bam! Smashing the devils. Bam! Smashing the archangels. Fighting in the war room every morning in the Hundoke Awa. Bang! Let's go. All right, folks. We're back to our top news today. In his first key appointments, Moon Jae-in, named 2 liberal veterans with ties to the 2000 Sunshine Policy of engagement with North Korea to post a prime minister and spy chief. Oh my goodness, see that? Look at that. He's bringing in the globalists. He's bringing in the centralists. He's bringing in the ones who literally are communists, who do and 100% support socialism, who support 100% the centralization of power, to use political expediency and political mechanisms to lure the population into further and further slavery, further and further socialistic control, further and further sexual deviance. Why? Socialists and communists always do sexual liberation. Why? Because they want you to be so infatuated with sex, just like Lucifer. Sex is such a great power. They want you to be banging everything by the time you're 13 years old, so you can't be politically active. You can't fight against them. You don't even see the problem because you're so mesmerized, bang and have sex with all sorts of women, men, bisexual, whatever it is. They want you banging things early because they know if they get you hooked to sex early, you can be more likely to be irresponsible with sex, then you're going to be more likely to be irresponsible with drugs, more likely to be irresponsible with any other substance or things that will make you weaker so that you don't have any chance to stand up against a predator class which has now taken power with socialist control, lying to you with politicians that are puppets to them and prostitutes to the establishment. I speak in quite long sentences, don't I? Do you not see what's happening? But now moving them closer and closer to more centralization, pushing them, peer pressuring, herd mentality, and of course adding them to the Asia-Pacific Union. Xi Jinping and Moon Jae-in will be the heralds and the chairman and the head vice deputy chairman of the APU, the Asia-Pacific Union, which, quote, will bring Asia to the world stage and will, quote, bring all the world will now follow Asia's footsteps. See, they're going to sell this crap to them. I can guarantee it. I guarantee. Lord have mercy. Sun Hoon, a spy, a career spy agency official who was instrumental in setting up 2 previous summits between the North and South, was named to head the National Intelligence Service. Bam! Look at that! They couldn't do it with the America Union. They couldn't do it with NAFTA. Why? Because we had the populist revolution. Why? Because we had real gun owners and Protestant Christians who stood up and said, nope, we're not going to take Hillary Clinton. We're not going to take the stripping away and destruction of America. We're going to stand up. Canada bowed down to it. Justin Trudeau said, please, I'll take it from the rear. I will just take it. Yes, Canadians love it. Yes, rape us, rape us. South America has been already imploded by Fidel Castro and the other socialist commies that are dictators and supported by the Bilderberg Group, Rothschild Group, Rockefeller Group, and Carnegie Foundations. Only America stood up, not all of America, in the cult of Hillary Clinton, in the cult of the lunatic left, in the cult of the Rhino Republicans. They didn't support it. They all supported the North American Union, which was what? The merging of Americas together into one super nation that the elites could control from Brussels, from Europe. This is ridiculous. It's a hierarchical management system which we're imposing, colluding with the false prophet of the Catholic Church to push that on Americans and use Catholics against themselves, weaponize Catholics to lead to their own destruction. But it's the Protestant, gun-owning families, men and women, but predominantly men, who stood up and said, nope, you're gonna come and fight. You can take it. I'm gonna put up a sign that says, come and take it. I got an AR-15. I will die to fight you. Now that's a problem. Now, crap. If Europe had those kind of men, what kind of families would they have? What kind of women would be there? What kind of children would there if they had men like that? Who are armed and dangerous. When the elites and the super class and the predator class try to come and say, no, we're in control, bow down and surrender to us. They say, F you, we'll die fighting. What happened to that kind of Europe? It's dead. And of course, they fail with the North American Union. Bam, they fail with that. Now they just move over to the Asia Pacific Union. These colluders, these prostitutes, these archangels are hell-bent on having you as their slave. Do you not understand that? They do not want you to stand in the authority of Almighty God as a co-heir with Christ, as a ruler of the kingdoms of this world. They hate your family. They hate you. They hate your marriage. They want to destroy and rule and laugh and cackle over you as they slit your throat and cannibalize your heart and liver. They ally with Wahhabi Islamic jihadis. They ally with communist Chinese who organ harvest poor Chinese people and Christians and Falun Gong practitioners for doing Tai Chi in a park. They are the true Satanists on this planet, and they wanted all peoples to surrender to them. And it's only the remnant in America that were holding on to their guns, which was the highest technology of force at this time, that could stand up against them. Thank God we have a president who is made from the same fabric as those valiant, courageous patriots, Christians in nature. As Patrick Henry said, look at that, I saw that quote yesterday. Patrick Henry said, this is a nation founded on the gospel of Jesus Christ. There are those who can seek asylum here, but this nation is founded on the gospel of Jesus Christ and Christian ethics, not Saudi Wahhabi ethics, not Chinese totalitarian ethics, imperialistic ethics, not on Bilderberg Rothschild Catholic ethics, on the gospel of Jesus Christ with decentralized personal relationship with Jesus, the Lord our God. That produces freedom, folks. That produces sovereignty. That produces strong men and women who know how to use the highest level of force and see it as their duty to stand up against all forms of tyranny. Thomas Jefferson said, quote, I vow on the altar of God eternal hostility against every tyranny forever. Something like that, okay? I'm paraphrasing. That last part I don't think was exact. That is the spirit of 1776. That is the spirit of God's people. That is the spirit of the true Christian, not the fake Christian who bows down to a centralized hierarchy and a false pope walking around holding hands with Ban Ki-moon and the UN talking about climate change is the greatest threat to humanity. Give me a break. Trying to tax poor people and make Al Gore and the Catholic Church richer. Give me a break. Moon was expected to fill the remaining cabinet and presidential staff appointments swiftly to bring an end to power vacuum left by the removal of Park Geun-hye in March in a corruption scandal that rocked South Korea's business and political elite. I will urgently try to solve the security crisis, Moon said. I will go to Beijing and Tokyo. I will fly straight to Washington if the conditions are right, to Pyongyang also. North Korea is likely to welcome Moon's election, but its state media made no mention of his victory on Wednesday. The U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, meanwhile, chose the day after Moon's election to announce it had established a Korean mission center to harness the full resource capabilities and authorities of the agency in addressing the nuclear and ballistic missile threat posed by North Korea. There you go, folks. There you go. Asia now in a spiral of chaos. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us on the King's Report.
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
Won't you look around? These are the lives that the world has forgotten, waiting for doors of our hearts and our homes to open. Boys become kings, girls will be queens, wrapped in your majesty. When we love the least of days, then they will be brave and free. Shout your name in victory. When we love the least of days, when we love the least of days. If not us, who will be like Jesus to the least of these? If not us, tell me who will be like Jesus to the least of these. Boys become kings, girls will be queens, wrapped in your majesty. When we love. Little hands, shoeless feet, lonely eyes looking back at me. Will we leave behind the innocent to grieve? On their own, on the run, when their lives have only begun. These could be our daughters and our sons. And just like a drum, I can hear
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report, everybody. He's your host, Sean Moon, the second king of Chaniguk. And I'm Toyin, the royal puppy dog that served the Lord of Second Advent. And here's my Pew Pew. I'm Pew Pew. She's living the Pew Pew life. Pew 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 Pew. She's shooting you. Pew Pew. With the white AR. Get the white AR, Marianne, on the computer right here. Get the white AR. Pull out. There you go, folks. The white AR. Hey, that's sweet, man. That's a sweet. And there's the Toiny. Pew 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 Pew. There you go, folks. Okay, sweetie. She doesn't see. I'm telling you, she feels a huge emptiness because of the babies that are gone, and she doesn't leave daddy. She keeps coming to me all the time. It's ridiculous. Okay, all right, we are back. Faith-filled based film filled with F-bombs. Faith-based film filled with F-bombs. Generational Sins features expletives and references to child abuse and alcoholism. We live in a R-rated world, and covering up the darkness won't bring it into the light, says executive producer Thurman Mason. An upcoming faith-based film is attempting to go where no previous movie from the genre has ever gone. Generational Sins, directed by Spencer Fulmar and written by Fulmar, Dax Spanogle, Jason Spanogle, and Casey Salviano, is overflowing with profanity, including multiple uses of F, shish, bitch, dick, and ashtray. In a huge departure compared to recent faith-based successes like God's Not Dead, which took in $60 million in 2014 and contained just one objectionable word, crap. Generational Sins is about child abuse, alcoholism, and ultimately redemption through Jesus Christ. And it could be in the unusual position of being offensive to both Christians and the LGBTQ community, since it also contains the term faggot. GLAAD declined comment for this story. Movie Guide, a yearly report on the entertainment industry from a Christian perspective, breaks down films into several categories, and it will be giving Generational Sins its lowest rankings when it comes to language, given there are 32 uses of profanity in the film. The movie won't do well if it's advertised as faith-based, says Movie Guide editor Time Snyder. In 2016, movies with no foul language made an average of $61.4 million domestically, while films with more than 25 curse words made an average of $34.1 million, according to Movie Guide. Because they want to take their kids. Parents want to take their kids. It's off-putting for the audience. People don't swear that much in public, except maybe in the hallowed halls of Hollywood, says Movie Guide founder Ted Baer. Generational Sins executive producer Thurman Mason maintains that they're not only going after a religious audience. People will call it faith-based, but we can't help that. We're marketing to a secular audience, as he said in the film, which is put in search of a distributor. We're creating a new genre, and there could definitely be pushback. Chris Stone, founder of Faith Driven Consumer, an advocacy group for Christians, says he'll be recommending Generational Sins, but to adults and not families. It's more graphic than I'm comfortable with, but it's not unrealistic, he says. It's an accurate portrayal of brokenness and sin, and some Christians will opt out. Director Fulmar defends the use of gay slur by noting it comes from a villainous character who offends people regularly. Still, director Ron Howard ran into a buzzsaw of controversy when activists complained 7 years ago about the Vince Vaughn's character in The Dilemma, joking that electric cars are gay. Universal took the line out of the trailer, but opted to leave it in the movie despite complaints of GLAAD and other groups. There you go, folks. So there is another faith-based movie that is coming out, reported by the Hollywood Reporter. Look at this. Hollywood Reporter, Amazon original, and it's called I Love Dick. It's called I Love, do you see how they're playing the word? And then they have this woman, Hollywood cartoon blonde hair woman, who is literally having oral sex with all these things, right next to a picture of I Love Dick. You see that? And this is what you get from the Hollywood Reporter. Great job, guys. On other news, Kim Jong-un bombs and destroys the South Korean White House in shocking pics. There you go. That's Kim Jong-un. Shocking pictures bombing the Korean White House. I guess that's his statement after Moon Jae-in has been elected president.
I guess so.
That's his pictorial statement.
They must have a team that puts out these videos.
There we go. They have, well, it's their CIG team, Tim.
Yes.
Did you see that CIG? It looks like it comes out like the 80s or something. It looks like Back to the Future level CIG. I mean, Star Wars, when was that made? In the 60s or 70s?
The first one was made in the 70s, I think.
I mean, even Star Wars that was made in the 70s was way better CIG than what North Korea puts out right now. And they think that they're the world's superpower of CIG. There you go. North Korea built a mock-up of the building seen in propaganda photos for its troops to destroy it. They actually built a mock-up of it. Wow, they actually built a mock-up of the building for their troops to destroy it. Images released by state-run media last year showed Kim's special forces storming the building in a mock invasion. There you go. And now fresh satellite photos have revealed the replica of the Cheongwon-dae or Blue House has been totally destroyed. There you go. There's the Clinton News Network covering it right there. And look at it completely being demolished. This time they actually blew the whole thing up. Look at that. Look at those pictures of how it used to look and now how it is in shambles and ash. They come as a chilling reminder to South Korea's newly elected Moon Jae-in of the crisis of the peninsula, comparing the new photos from satellite images provided Airbus to shots that last year provide a sharp contrast. In the new images, the replica is reduced to ruin, destroyed almost completely except for the facade. By contrast, earlier photos show the replica is so realistic it even had glass windows. For last year's drill, when Special Ops soldiers from Unit 525 invaded the site, Kim Jong-un was in the audience. Wow, he was in the audience. He advised then that the soldiers preparing to fight in the South would need intensive training in marching, firing, and swimming. There you go, folks. There you go. Burning down the house, North Korean Special Forces stormed the building last year. While the supreme leader of the Family Fraud Supreme Council,
Where did they get the money?
the
to do
wannabe,
this?
to storm this fake Blue House. There you go. He told them, well done, the enemy troops will have no space to hide themselves far from taking any counteraction. Moon Jae-in plans to move the presidency out of the Blue House due to its association with his predecessor. That predecessor, Park Geun-hye, remained holed up in the palace while scandal engulfed her presidency. There you go, folks. In other news, Fox News Politics, CIA to focus on North Korean threat with a new mission center, which was also reported in the previous article. The New York Times reports in a private dinner, Trump demanded loyalty and Comey demurred. There you go. Washington, only 7 days after Trump was sworn in as president. Comey told his associates the FBI director was summoned to the White House for a one-on-one dinner with the new commander-in-chief. The conversation that night in January, Mr. Comey now believes was a harbinger of his downfall this week as head of the FBI, according to two people who have heard his account of the dinner. Oh, yes, of course, it's because of the dinner, and Trump was such a totalitarian, he demanded loyalty. Yes, that's the reason why Comey was fired. Has nothing to do with the fact that he's protected the Clintons and the rape scandals, protecting the Clintons, running pedophile groups, protecting the Clintons, literally going on planes to Lolita Express Island, which is the pedophile island run by Jeff Epstein, 22 plus times, Hillary Clinton going 6 plus times. Nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with the fact that the Clinton Foundation was used as a slush fund to steal and literally sell out the State Department and the United States to foreign powers to receive huge donations. No, nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with the fact that Hillary Clinton acid washed 36,000 emails, breaking 36,000 federal codes and federal laws. No, nothing to do with that. No, he covered up for all of that, but that has nothing to do with it. It's simply because Trump is a bully and he demanded that Comey surrender and bow to him in obeisance, but he didn't do it. You see, Tim? That's the reason that the New York Times gives for the reason why Comey has been fired. This is fantastic. Trump fired Comey. He's going after the deep state. See, Trump is now starting to show that he is a mastermind. He's playing ninth dimensional chess. He pushes, he gets what he wants. Then they push back. He lets them get a little bit. Lets them think they're winning a little bit. Then bam, 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 he starts pushing back. Then he lets them think that he's cowering and lets them think he's weakening. Bam, bam, bam. Then he starts raising them. Then he surprises them with a number of boom. Oh, shoot. He has some over here. They're like, Oh my gosh, they're trying to recover, trying to go over here and recover here. Boom, he hits him on this side, boom. And you see, he is playing ninth dimensional chess with them. He's now got rid of Comey, one of the most dangerous members of the deep state, one of the heads of the Hydra, which is the deep state. He's now lopped off one of those heads. Good people in the FBI are celebrating because they could see how corrupt and how scandalous Comey was in protecting the most criminal elements of the executive branch, Obama, Clinton, Bush, etc. Wow. Now news is coming up. Intel sources now show that Trump is now moving on McMaster, who is also a Rhino Republican, who is a warmonger, and one in the same cut of the same cloth as Senator John McCain. He's now moving to eradicate him. But he pulled him in for a little while to let the Republican rhinos ease off on Trump so that they would think that he was leaning up to them and think that he was pulling them in and think that he was replacing Steve Bannon with all of them and getting them confident. And as they got confident, they got cocky and they got complacent. And bam! Now he's starting to smash them. Even potentially removing Spencer as press secretary and potentially removing and isolating Reince Priebus, isolating him so that he cannot woo his way in with Dana Powell, in with Ivanka and Jared Kushner. Trump, in the end, is showing, with this move at least, that he's moving in the right direction again, moving towards the promises he made, and that he has not forgotten the American people. I believe the more he stands with the American people, the Pennsylvania event here at Harrisburg, where he came and met the people again, that helps him remember his conscience, that helps him remember who he is, that remembers who put him there, that helps him remember what his mission is. He is starting to move in the right direction once again. We'll be right back after the short break. Stay with us on the King's Report.
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
And we are back. Welcome back. I'm your host, Hyungjin Sean Moon, the second king of Chaniguk, to a shocking top news on Drudge. NBC's Lester Holt interrupts President Trump 9 times in less than 3 minutes. The arrogant NBC. What does NBC stand for? Let's see what this stands for. National Bullshmita Communications or Company. National Bull Community. National Bull Company. Bullshmita Community. Company. That's NBC for you. And the arrogant, elitist, sellout Lester Holt interrupts Trump 9 times in less than 3 minutes. There you go. NBCNews.com posted a 2 minute and 34-second preview clip of anchor Lester Holt's exclusive sit-down with President Donald Trump. The clip features conducting an interrogation-like interview in which NBC personality interrupted Trump 9 times and spoke over the president on many of those occasions. Hey, what happened to respecting the office of the presidency, NBC? You always guilt-shamed Republicans and conservatives saying they have to respect Obama's presidency. The short clip is a part of a 31-minute White House interview set to air Thursday night. That's yesterday on NBC Nightly News. Here you go. Let's take a look at that clip.
He's a showboat. He's a grandstander. The FBI has been in turmoil. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. You take a look at the FBI a year ago. It was in virtual turmoil less than a year ago. It hasn't recovered from that.
Monday, you met with the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein.
Right.
Did you ask for a recommendation?
What I did is I was going to fire Comey. My decision. It was not.
You had made the decision before they came in the room.
I was going to fire Comey. There's no good time to do it, by the way.
Because in your letter you said I accepted their recommendation,
Yeah, well,
so you had
also-
already made the decision.
I was going to fire regardless of recommendation.
So there was really
He made a recommendation. He's highly respected, very good guy, very smart guy. The Democrats like him, the Republicans like him. He made a recommendation, but regardless of recommendation, I was going to fire Comey.
Let me ask you about your termination letter to Mr. Comey. You write, I greatly appreciate you informing me on 3 separate occasions that I am not under investigation. Why did you put that in there?
Because he told me that. I mean, he told me
He
that.
told you weren't under investigation with
and
regard to the Russia investigation?
I've heard that from others. I think.
Was it in a phone call? Did you meet face to face?
I had a dinner with him. He wanted to have dinner because he wanted to stay on. We had a very nice dinner at the White
He
House
asked for the
very
dinner?
early on.
There he goes, just
And dinner was
interrupting,
arranged. I think he asked for the dinner. And
the
he
president.
wanted to stay on as the FBI head. And I said, I'll consider. We'll see what happens. But we had a very nice dinner. And at that time, he told me, you are not under investigation, which I knew anyway.
That was one meeting. What was the what
First
were
of
the
all,
other
when
two?
you're under investigation, you're giving all sorts of documents and everything. I knew I wasn't under. And I heard it was stated at the committee, at some committee level, that I wasn't. Number one.
So that didn't come directly
Then
from
during
him.
a phone call, he said it, and then during another phone call, he said it. So he said it once at dinner, and then he said it twice during phone calls.
Did you call him?
In one case, I called him. In one case, he called me.
And did you ask, am I under investigation?
I actually asked him, yes. I said, if it's possible, would you let me know, am I under investigation? He said, you are not under investigation.
But he's given sworn testimony that there is an ongoing investigation into the Trump campaign and possible collusion with the Russian government. You were the centerpiece of the Trump campaign.
Give me a
So is he
break.
truthful when he
Well,
says
I
you
know
weren't
one
under
thing. I know
investigation?
that I'm not under investigation. Me, personally. I'm not talking about campaigns. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not under investigation.
There you go, folks. There you go. The arrogant personalities of the propaganda media trying to interrogate and continue the whole Russia. When will they end? How much evidence? They've been doing this for now months and months and months, finding no evidence. In fact, they're coming up with more evidence that Hillary was receiving money from the Russians in the uranium deal that she gave to Putin. She's the one who gave them millions and millions of dollars. She's the one who took slush fund money from foreign powers to affect the State Department. This is the criminal woman. It is so unbelievably hilarious, the narrative that is just dying under their writhing bodies of the lunatic left. There you go. Exclusive. Lawyer for man dragged from United Flight isn't laughing at viral New Yorker cover. David Dow's attorney says New Yorker magazine illustration minimizes his client's pain, but acknowledges that it's very clever. There you go. The New Yorker liberal lunatic propaganda. Who's the New Yorker owned by? Is that owned by who's it owned by?
It's not such a big presence in the media now, so I'm not sure.
It's owned by one of the big conglomerates. Can you look that up? Who is the New Yorker owned by? But there you go. They have Jeff Sessions apparently forcefully dragging Comey off. Oh yes, as if yes, he was such a victim. Oh, Comey was like the Dr. Dow who was going to treat patients, and he was so unfairly taken off by the bully Jeff Sessions, even though he was colluding with Clintons, even though he was protecting them, even though he was covering up their crimes, even though he was not prosecuting them for clearly violating the law 36,000 times with federal declassified information being acid washed off their computer. Give me a break.
Condé Nast owns it.
Condé Nast. There we go.
It's a media company.
And Condé Nast is owned by who? That is a major media conglomerate. They own outfits in Europe as well, don't they? They own all sorts of outfits out in Europe and media conglomerates. I wouldn't be surprised if that's connected to
That's
the
owned by-
bankers.
Yeah, it's owned by Advanced Publications, Condé Nast,
Okay, Condé Nast, you know.
by Advanced Publications.
Well, we have to look further into that. I wouldn't be surprised if George Soros has some hand in that. Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. There you go, folks. This New Yorker cover playing FBI Director John Comey firing, and David Dow was removed from a. Oh yes, he was such a poor victim. Look at these propagandas.
Privately held company. In other words, they're not going to tell us.
They're not going to tell you exactly, which means it's owned by the central bankers. Oh, whatever they don't tell you, you know it's owned by the same Bilderberg Group members. There you go, folks. There you go.
Newhouse family. Newhouse family is chairman and president, so I guess.
On other top news, BBC makes drama about Muslim rape gang, but doesn't mention Islam. Let's take a look at this disturbing, fraudulent trailer using the victims of rape and not identifying who those rapists and what culture, radical Saudi Wahhabi culture, they are coming from. Let's look at this trailer.
There's no such thing as a child prostitute. What there is a child who's been abused.
The 9 men have been released on bail.
How many victims?
47. And when they went to the police, nothing was done about it.
No one bothered. What do you think that does to a kid? We treat them as...
No one says it's radical jihad and radical Islamic culture.
Operation stands and falls on us being able to re-engage.
Nobody says it's Saudi-backed Wahhabism and Orthodox Islam, historical Orthodox Islam. When they conquer nations at Surah 424, you can own them slaves by their right hand, and that means women. Take slave captives and own them as sex slaves. No, you can't mention that in the lunatic left political correct Britain and the UK, which is still trying to fight to get what they voted for with the Brexit, but they're still not able to pull out of the EU. The EU literally saying from Brussels, hey, you better stop that. We're going to have a referendum and or we're going to wage war on you. This is ludicrous. Excuse me. The BBC has made a drama about girls affected by Muslim rape gangs with no mention of Islam in press releases or the trailer. The writer claiming there was no religious basis for this. 3 Girls, which will be aired 16th of May on BBC One, tells the story of 3 children from Rothschild targeted by a gang of Pakistani and Afghan origin Muslims between 2005 and 8. The case resulted in 2012 conviction of the 9 men for serious sex offenses, including rape and human trafficking, inflicting on girls as young as 13. The drama will look at the way in which these girls were groomed, how they were ignored by the authorities directly responsible for protecting them, and how they eventually made themselves heard. The series writer Nicole Daniels said there was no religious basis for this, but a wider discussion about why this was and is a distinct pattern would be welcome. Yes, of course. Okay, we can discuss all things, but let's just pretend there's no religious basis. Let's just pretend that the Prophet of Islam never married a 6-year-old girl and had sex with her when she was 9 and called her a favorite girl. His wife, favorite wife. Let's not mention the fact that rape of conquested nations that you conquer in Islam is legal under Sharia law and under Islamic law, Quranic law. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about how that's diametrically opposed to Christian ethics and to Christian values. Diametrically opposed. Of course, David Wood and they're real experts on this field of being apologists against Islam, who actually go and challenge the Sharia course, challenge the Muslim apologists to debate them publicly so that their truth can be revealed, exposed. But of course, she says there's no religious basis for this, but we would like to have a wider discussion and look at the distinct patterns that would be welcomed. But you can't say any of the patterns are religious, okay? Yes, as soon as you say it, it may be motivated from their actual beliefs, their religiously held beliefs. These things may be justified by their actual prophet. Hello? Who gives them permission to do things that are against Christian ethics and values. Their God, which tells them that that's okay. I mean, David Wood just produced a video the other day showing the quotes that the Christians and Jews are worse than even creatures, any creature of this earth. And he has the exact square. And then in another quote, it says, but you Muslims to Allah are the most precious. So again, superiority claims. But of course, they want to pretend that Islam doesn't claim superiority to all other races, religions, and civilizations, which it does. There you go. One of the factors leading to this, to the fact that they were not part of your community or religion, she says. He said the men treated the girls as the worthless and beyond respect. Here they are. Pakistani and Afghan Muslims. Again, God, it's ridiculous. The BB insisted that they had done extensive research and worked with victims to tell the truth story as accurately as possible, of course, banning them from saying that, hey, it may be something about their ideology and their political ideology, which is not really a religion, it's a political ideology of complete totalitarian control over the entire world, which is the reason why they're the green horsemen that allies with the red horsemen, China, that allies with the CIA and the black horsemen, and allies with the white horsemen, which is the Rothschild group, with the crown and the arrows as their crests, with their false prophet, who's also part of the white horsemen, which is the Vatican and the Pope. We have now clearly identified the dangers to God's kingdom. There you go, folks. There you go. In other top news, CIA creates mission center to address North Korean threat. A new unit will focus on the nuclear and ballistic missile threat posed by North Korea. And when we come back, we'll look at the ultimate compilation of Democratic flip-floppers previously calling for Comey's resignation. Stay with us on the
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
Welcome back to the King's Report. I'm your host, Seongjin Sean Moon, the second king of Cheongguk, and let's go now to the compilation video of Democrats flip-flopping. Let's take a look at this video.
Interview with 60 Minutes, Trump left Comey's future hanging in the balance.
FBI Director James Comey, are you going to ask for his resignation?
I think that I would rather not comment on that yet. I haven't made up my mind.
Huge story that broke just minutes ago, like less than 10 minutes ago. FBI Director James Comey has just been fired by Donald Trump. Wow. Huge Donald Trump fans here tonight.
Do you believe that Jim Comey should resign, Senator Reid?
Of course, yes.
It's classified and we can't tell you anything. All I can tell you is the FBI director has no credibility.
Look, first of all, let's start at the beginning. He was acting in concert and coordination with the House Republicans. End of story.
I'm just saying Director Comey testified this week, and he made it very plain that he broke the FBI rules with respect to the Clinton campaign, and he chose not to break the rules with respect to the Trump campaign, and that was a factor. There are many factors, but I think it will go down as probably the lowest moment in the history of the FBI, probably next to the decision of J. Edgar Hoover to wiretap Martin Luther King.
So now we have Comey putting his finger on the scale. And yeah, up until then, people thought great things about him. But this is unprecedented.
I think that Comey acted in an outrageous way during the campaign.
Should he step down?
I think he should take a hard look at what he has done. And I think it would not be a bad thing for the American people if he did step down.
My confidence in the FBI director's ability to lead this agency has been shaken.
And then at least one Democratic lawmaker is calling on Comey to resign.
And Director Comey is supposed to be an investigator who reports to the Justice Department and not somebody who comes out and makes news himself. He's gone too far.
But for the first time, President Obama taking a swipe at his FBI director, James Comey.
There is a norm that, when there are investigations, we don't operate on innuendo, we don't operate on incomplete information, we don't operate on leaks. We operate based on concrete decisions that are made.
It was, when I heard about it, I found it hard to believe that Comey, who I thought had some degree of integrity, would do this.
Earlier this afternoon, President Trump called me and informed me he was firing Director Comey. I told the President, Mr. President, with all due respect, you are making a big mistake.
Wrong. All right, there you go. There's a video compilation from InfoWars. There you go, folks. White House sources Trump looks to replace Spicer as purge of establishment advisors begin. Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle being considered for press secretary as president cleans house. There you go. White House sources tell InfoWars that Sean Spicer could be fired within next week as President Trump begins a purge of establishment advisors who he feels have failed to properly investigate leaks coming from within the administration. Speculation is already swirling as to whether or not Spicer will return after he was benched and temporarily replaced with Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Spicer has behaved like a deer in the headlights in recent weeks and is not able to handle the pressure of the job, according to one source. They add that Spicer will be gone by next week and that former prosecutor and current news host Kimberly Guilfoyle, who was previously considered for the role, is currently the favorite to replace him. There you go. Ooh, look at this. Also, we saw that video on Judge Jeanine Pirro possibly being considered for the FBI spot. Wow, that would be amazing if Judge Jeanine Pirro, one of the amazing, powerful women judges in this land, historical figure, if she was the FBI director. Wow, uncompromising. She's clear in her thinking. She's truly sovereignty-based. She is a true patriot. What a woman. What a woman. She's amazing. Boy, she would be a phenomenal FBI director. Anderson Cooper rolling his eyes. There he is, rolling his eyes. He's supposed to be non-biased, Anderson Cooper, a CIA agent. There he is, rolling his eyes at the White House administration. Of course, supposedly not biased. New study, FDA approves drugs are dangerous. As alarming as the study sounds, it's a limited hangout. I'll explain. It turns out that every new medical drug should contain a warning. The FDA approved this medicine. Watch out. Perhaps the warning should be more extreme. If you're taking this drug, have an emergency medical crew on standby. A new study published in the Journal of American Medical Association examined all 222 drugs approved by the FDA between 2001 and 10. The finding, years after approval, roughly a third of the medicines were then labeled with warnings about serious adverse effects. And some of those warnings indicated life-threatening complications. For example, cancer and liver damage. For example, death, which the last time I looked is life-threatening. The Washington Post reports among the drugs that with added warnings, years after the drugs were approved as safe for public use, Humira, used for arthritis and some other illnesses, Abilify, used for depression and other mental illness, and Pradaxa, a blood thinner, the withdrawn drugs taken off the market, and the reason, Bextra, an anti-inflammatory medicine, heart problems, Raptiva, a psoriasis drug, rare nervous system illness, and Zelnorm, a bowel illness drug, heart problems. A pharma trade group spokeswoman told the Post, even with rigorous clinical studies and regulatory review, it may be impossible to detect certain safety signals until years after approval, once the medicine is in broader use. No doubt. That's why the public is subjected to the luck of the draw, a roll of the dice, a spin of the roulette wheel. Of course, as I never tire of pointing out, a landmark review July 26, 2000 in the Journal of American Medical Association by Dr. Barbara Starfield found that every year in the U.S., FDA-approved drugs kill 106,000 people. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Extrapolating to a decade, that would be millions of deaths. The new study confirms only a small part of the overall problem, and the overall problem is what major media don't want to report on, and what the federal government doesn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. The new study is what intelligence agencies would call a limited hangout, which is a public admission of part of a problem or scandal that is in fact much bigger. The huge scandal in this case is routine death by medicine. Numbers every year, which is ignored by the press and the government. 106,000 Americans killed by FDA approval medicines every year. That's the big one. That remains hidden and unacknowledged. Note, under Trump, the FDA is urged to speed up the drug approval process. It's good for business, for patients. It's a disaster on top of already existing disaster. There you go, John Rappaport reporting that. Top psychiatrists say French President Macron is a dangerous psychopath. Warns he could completely ruin France. In a video interview with ERTV, Dr. Andranio Segatauro explores Macron's psychological background, which he says was shaped by Macron's relationship with his 64-year-old wife. Segatauro begins by alleging that Macron suffered a grave sexual assault at age 15. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, let's skip this break. We're just going to go to the end. At age 15, by his future wife, Brigitte Trounot, 24 years his senior, and that this led to Macron developing an omnipotent personality complex born out of the idea that limits do not exist. Wow! So Macron did have sex with his wife when he was 15, so she is a pedophile. Wow! This is a pedophile woman.
Yes.
This is a pedophile predator who was preying on young boys at 15 years old. She was banging this young boy while she was married. Wow, wow. And this is the leadership now that has taken over France. Top psychologist. Macron est un psychopathe. L'analyse de psychiatrie italienne. Forgive me if I butcher that in French, okay? I only studied French up till the middle school. I can't remember a dang thing. Segatauro begins by alleging Macron suffered a grave sexual assault at 15. Wow, by his future wife. My goodness, so she is a pedophile. 26 years his senior, and that his... Wow, that's not a surprise that the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers supported her to take over control, because she's going to be really ruling over France now as the puppet, the actual pedophile who literally has a pedophile boy.
She's the puppet master.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Although Macron first met his future wife when he was 15-year-old student in her class, they were only officially a couple when Macron turned 17, still a pedophile.
Well, officially, I mean, a lot of things happen before you get official.
Holy Shemitah. Wow. The Italian psychiatrist claims that Macron was a victim of pedophilia. There he is right there. This is an honest psychiatrist. Although there is no evidence to suggest Trudeau is guilty of this charge. The age of consent in France is 15. Well, okay, there you go. The age of consent of sex is 15 in France.
So pedophilia is legal.
So pedophilia is legal in France, which is why the super elite love France. Unless the older party has a legal or factual authority over the victim, in which case the age of consent is 18. Wow, the age of consent in France is 15. That means a 15-year-old can consent to have sex with 82-year-old or 40-year-old or 30 or 28-year-old, whatever. Wow, that means a 15-year-old can consent to having sex with their teacher, and the teacher can be dating them at 15 years old. That's legal in France. Look how decrepit and delusional France is. A 15-year-old baby? These people are out on drugs. Asserting that Macron had a full-blown case of narcissism that can be described as malevolent. Sarkozy says that Macron needs the admiration of others to compensate for his vast inferiority complex. Its structure is what gives rise to psychopathy because we are confronted with an individual, Emmanuel Macron, for which his psychic organization is perfectly definable as psychopath, says Sarkozy. The word psychopath is not an insult, he points out. A great American psychoanalyst, Nancy McWilliams, explained in text that a psychopath can reach the highest levels of the American administration. That's right. So a psychopath can for sure be a deviant person, but if he is well organized socially, culturally, intellectually, he can reach the summits of the elites in the field of politics and finance, which is the case of the profile studied at hand. Sarkozy goes on to assert that Macron is a remorseless elitist who despises the poor, has a fascination for the superficial, and is prone to hysterical and dramatic outbursts. Emmanuel Macron, like all psychopaths, is particularly dangerous, warns Sarkozy, adding that he has a potential to completely ruin France because he doesn't care about French people and is merely concerned with maintaining his own fragile identity and self-aggrandizement at the expense of others. Look at that woman in the background ruling over Macron the psychopath by top psychiatrist. What's his name? What's the psychiatrist's name again? Here we go. Sarkozy. Wow, that was a great article. ABC cancels Tim Allen's highly rated TV show after 2 months. 2 months after he called out hysterical anti-Trump left. Is it a coincidence? Christian conservative sitcom is canned. There you go. ABC has canceled Tim Allen's Last Man Standing sitcom, despite good ratings, leaving some to wonder whether the show has canned because of Allen's conservative politics. Allen made headlines back in March when he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live to remark on how conservatives have to keep quiet about any kind of pro-Trump leanings. I'm not kidding. You got to be real careful around here. You get beat up if you don't believe what everybody else believes, said Allen. This is like 30s Germany, he joked. I don't know what happened if you're not part of the group. You know what we believe is right. I go. I might have a problem with that. This followed comments by Allen during an appearance on Megyn Kelly's show shortly after the election, in which he called out leftist intolerance. What I found on All in Hollywood is that they didn't like Trump because he was a bully. But if you had any kind of inkling that you were for Trump, you got bullied for doing that. So it's okay when they're bullies, but it's not okay if they feel Trump is a bully. Now the comedian's Last Man Standing sitcom is set to be canceled by ABC, who cites disagreements over the series license fee as a reason. Of course, has nothing to do with his conservative views. Ron Paul says, no evidence of Russian intrusion in U.S. political system. Trump-Lavrov meeting beneficial for mending relations, Paul tells RT. Austria on the edge, government set to collapse, could deal blow to the EU. Shock resignation could open door to anti-EU populist party. Austria's government is on the verge of collapse due to a shock resignation, opening the door to the right-wing Freedom Party, and the crisis could cause a huge headache for Brussels as the anti-EU Freedom Party is currently leading in the polls. Yesterday, the future of the coalition government was thrown out into doubt after Vice Chancellor Reinhold Mitterlehrer resigned, prompting calls for an election. Many within his People Party believe an election should be called rather than simply replacing him as the party leader and continuing the shaky coalition with the Social Democrats. The Freedom Party came incredibly close to securing the country's presidency last year, with candidate Norbert Hofer stormed to victory in the first round of victory before being defeated in the second. There you go. There you go. Don't rent me alarms given to 6,000 Austrian women. There you go. That's how much the Archangel loves you. He'll give you an alarm that says, don't rape me when you're being raped. Great job, Archangel. Conway, Democrats trash Comey. They made him a martyr. Tucker Carlson says the idea of independent investigation is a sham. Talking about policy prescription, their talking points. Partisan posing disguised as patriotism, and an independent investigation on Russia would only make things worse in today's political environment. Hashtag Tucker. There you go. Elizabeth Hurley on putting Hollywood on hold for motherhood. I don't regret it for a moment. There you go. An actual real woman. Yay. Beautiful actress, punk rocker, fashion model Elizabeth Hurley has tackled many roles throughout her life, including 80s punk rocker, fashion models, and actress. But according to British Star, her favorite is single mom. Okay, I don't like the single, but at least she's saying mom. Looking after my sons became my number one task, and it was a joy to have someone else on whom to focus, the 51-year-old told Coulter Weekly on having her son, now 15-year-old Damien, in 2012 with ex-boyfriend Steve Bing. Come on, move down. Spend time with her sons. Taking time off from Hollywood and stardom and modeling to take care of your children. That's great. That's good. Okay, she doesn't have the best record in terms of keeping marriage or stuff like that, but she is departing from the normal Hollywood whoredom and saying, hey, I'm going to take care of my children. I'm going to love and raise up my children and raise the next generation. Of course, motherhood always being vilified. There's the beautiful Elizabeth Hurley at 51 years old, and she can still take care of her children. Fox Firepower Mother Day Tactical Gift Guide. Hey, I want to see this video. How come it's not able to play? Let's see if we can load that up for a Mother Day Tactical Gift Guide. The Queen is now being much more responsible with her responsibility as a gun owner and concealed carry permit owner, now carrying her gun much more frequently. Her daddy is very proud of her doing there. Oh, do you wear your tights today, Amma? Oh, you didn't wear your cute tights. Oh, look at that. Dang, look at that mini little 1911 in baby blue, Tiffany blue, baby. Woo, ladies, check out them hot pieces.
Welcome back to Tech Tech. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles. You know, Mother's Day is coming up, and last couple of years we've had a Mother's Day segment.
Check out them hot pieces.
Fox Firepower columnist and also defense specialist. Always brings out some really cool items that mom may like. In this case, this is basically moms that might be weapons aficionados.
Hey, there you go. Real mommies that don't want to be control freaks and create communism over this world and actually want to empower their children and allow them to defend themselves with the right to bear arms, which is the right of China. Go ahead, show it to us. Show it to us, Hockney. Hurry up and show us the cool loadouts.
Caught my eye. The first one, the Browning Hells Bells ultralight jacket and pants. I assume that's not the pants you're going to find in the normal department store.
No, I love these. They're comfy, they're cute, they're smart. If you've got a mother in your life who loves the outdoors, is into hunting, really strongly recommend these. They're ones that I wear myself. Browning, synonymous.
Go Allison. Go Allison, defense specialist. Go baby. Go Allison. Hit him with it, baby. Browning, Hell's Bells, ultralight jacket. Man, that's a dope jacket. Oh, that's a sweet jacket, man. I got the Queen one cool, nice I love the Browning logo too. It's super sweet. Oh, and that hot pink, that's dope, man. That's dope. I got her a sweet camo thing at Walmart for like $10. It was so super sweet. It's the white snow with the real trio camo.
I would love for
she looks super cute, and then my daughter just stole it from her and then just wears it all the time.
Kimber
But they look so cute in camo,
9, one of the more expensive items on the list, but it's pretty cool as well. Tell us about
real men like real women. Hey, wow. Yeah, baby.
A lot
Look
of
at
women
that.
are concerned
Look at that
about
in baby
personal
blue,
safety
Tiffany
that
blue
comes
with
big fabric.
ivory
So if your mother
handles.
is looking into something like that, I really
That's pretty cool,
strongly
man.
recommend
That's
this.
pretty
It's
cool.
one of
Can you
your
imagine
top
packing that
options
piece?
for
Maybe you have like
concealed carry for
a cute
woman.
pink holster
Also, it's
to go with that. Or maybe you could have an
beautiful,
ivory holster. Man, that would be dope in an
lots
ivory
of
holster.
different
Or maybe
colors,
even a baby
looks,
blue
and
holster.
stuff.
Woo,
I like
man.
Bel Air because
That'd be
I'm a little
sweet
bit
in
partial
baby
to that
blue
film
Kydex
noir
holster.
look. You could just
Bam.
see a Lauren Bacall
Carrying
or
that
someone like
beauty.
that, one of those screen sirens,
Man,
pulling it
there
out
you
of a
go.
gorgeous handbag,
That's
you
a
know,
sweet
with a
piece
ball
right there.
gown and stuff. So
You
I
can even
love this
carve
option.
some
It's
cute
a
little
really,
things. You
really
like Hello
great
Kitty,
choice
put
for
Hello Kitty on there.
concealed carry for
You
a
like
home.
roses, put roses on there, man. That looks
Remind me not
sweet.
to cross you, 'cause
And by the way, I'm
Makes me
taking your
fall in
dare
love
on wearing the Hell's Bells in LA because you know I'll do it.
Hey, Allison, come on. Where's the car arms pieces? Where's the car arms, baby blue?
Yes, I do.
Oh man, guys, pick up the car arms, baby blue, Tiffany blue.
Be careful what part
Hold
of
on.
Los
Let's
Angeles
see.
you
Let's see what else
walk in.
Allison got for us.
The Weatherby Camilla rifle. So $849. Also, you're getting into hunting season. Well, actually, we're coming out of hunting season in some places, but other places there's still hunting season still going on.
Yep.
There
and
you
this is a
go.
timeless,
The Weatherby Camilla
beautiful,
rifle
beautiful piece,
for
right?
the
I
lady
love
hunters
everything about
out
the Weatherby
there.
ethos. This is-
Christina,
they just
shout outs to
represent
her.
all
She
that
caught her
great
chicken. I'm
Americana,
not
right?
chicken
Deep in
turkey.
family
She
history,
caught her
really
turkey
make
the other
America
day.
proud. The
Her
craftsmanship
and Lisa
and
did some
remarkable
ninja training. They said they actually
Absolutely
put the
beside
decoy of the
this
turkey in front of their head,
rifle.
and they
Truly the
ninja
only
crawled
one that
towards
I've
them,
seen on the
and they
market
thought this
that
would
I
never
feel
work,
is
but the
truly
turkeys
designed
kept
for
coming,
women.
and they got him. They
Different
bagged
styles,
one.
we have different
Awesome,
designs,
huge
different
one, and then they
ergonomical
literally
stuff.
barged into the
Love it,
palace
love it, love
saying,
it.
"Look,
It's
look, look,
worth
look,
every
look."
dollar. It's a sort of
They
gift
shocked the
that
heck out of
should be
Andy,
passed on
and
to
he
the
got
next
surprised.
generation.
Ah! Somebody barged into the house. That's why I tell them to lock the dang doors.
Range bag.
This is why I get on these fools and lock the damn
A
doors.
bag, right? Or a range bag if you've got a tackle
Oh, they
bag
drive me
in your
nuts.
bag.
They don't lock the
Lots
damn
of-
doors.
There's lots of range bags out there, let's face it. But
Yes,
why
they
not
do.
get
Yes, they
your
do.
mom
We have the
something
doors locked
truly
and we're
worthy of
armed,
a
so you
tactical
better watch out.
professional? She deserves the best, right? Like all
There
moms
you go,
deserve the best.
Maximilian compact range
Maximilian is
bag.
known for making. They're the go-to, really one of the go-to.
I don't think
for
that's super
creating
cute. Is that-
bags,
that's-
and lots of
that's
different
not
other
super
things,
cute for girls.
crafting things
Yeah,
for
they get good
tactical
stuff.
professionals. Yeah, right.
That's
Like,
kinda
we use that
blah.
stuff. So law enforcement, elite.
Show
units,
the morale
SWAT,
patches,
that's really their
man.
origin story,
Show
is
the
like
morale
working for
patches that are
SWAT and
super cute for
high-end,
girls.
like, elite military units. So why not get your mom something that's truly worthy of her this Mother's Day and get her a range bag to school? She'll love that. It's like the ammo comes right out. It's very lots of smart design
All right.
features on it. She'll love it.
Hey guys,
She'll
check
love
out. Oh yeah,
I
pick
gotta
up the
say,
Tiffany. There's a
compared
car
to last year,
canine.
also very cool
Wow,
stuff.
look at that
This
piece.
year, a little more,
Hey, look at that
armor,
piece. Woo!
prepared.
Look at that piece, the car canine in Tiffany blue. Go ahead, scroll and give me some images of that. Look how gorgeous that looks in Tiffany blue. Man, oh man. Go ahead, scroll down so we can see some different pictures. Hey, that looks hot in blue. Woo-wee. I think that's the 380. Is that the PM9? That looks sweet in Tiffany blue, man. That looks so cute in Tiffany. But can you imagine that with a cute white outfit and maybe some, cool, summer light blue jeans with maybe pink heels? Woo! How cute would that be, girls, huh? How sweet would that be with that piece riding alongside so that the predators fear you, but you can still look dope with your Tiffany blue PM9 car arm, baby. Woo! Look at that. That looks awesome. There you go, folks. There you go. And Mormon Church to pull thousands of teens from Boy Scouts of America. Is that because they're pushing the homosexual agenda? Well, I would pull my kids out of the Boy Scouts if I were you as well, because they're now pushing the Boy Scouts, allowing the transgender children in the program and the homosexual agenda in it as well. Pull out of there, learn from real survivor communities that are Christian-based, that can teach you the same skill, even more skills, and not put you in the trap of the name brand of Boy Scouts of America. Who cares about them if they're selling themselves out to the centralist and political Satanism? Folks, thanks for joining us today on this Friday, May 12, 2017, 8th year of Chungi, 4th month, 17th day. On the heavenly calendar, it is a jam-packed day today. Get outside. Look how gorgeous it is. Beautiful. Give glory to our Creator. He is still here. He is always here with us. Christ is still alive. Still alive. I do. He's not dead. God's not dead. He's living live. What is it? What is that? What's that song? God's not dead. He's always alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead. He's living alive. He's alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. What's the verse there? Roar, huh? Oh, shouting like he's roaring. What? Oh, he's surely
Give
alive.
Marianne the mic.
Come on, Marianne, sing it for us. Sing it for us. Okay. All right, folks. Give God the praise this day. Stand with the three kingships as we now unleash the logo that will be coming out soon. It's fly, it's dope, it's Chaniaguk, it's kingdom, baby. But we pray every day the Lord's Prayer, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread as forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen and Aju. Aju, by the way, means I own it. I own it. I own it. I own what I just said. I own what I just declared. I own it. I own it in the name of Jesus. I own it. Own it. Own it. That's what Aju means. For those who don't know what Aju means, it means I own it. And God wants you to have that mentality, for you must rise as a tribal king in the kingdom of Chaniaguk. Wear your crown, stand as a tribal king, and protect this kingdom with freedom and responsibility. Do your duty, stand with the Peace Militia, and be that powerful human being that God has destined you to be. God bless, Godspeed, and may his kingdom come. We'll see you tomorrow with Tim on the King's Report. Oh, Lord mercy.